Chapter 1754. That works. Night Sorrow was surprised. Normally it wouldn't work. But that guy's guard against Li Zongyuan should be at its lowest right now. He won't sense Li Zongyuan's aura carefully. We just need a little time, Pu Luo said. Then the four of them took action. The Great Demon King took out his weapon and pierced through space. Lin Piaomiao brought Night Sorrow in as well. Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King. The Great Demon King's domain was black rolling energy. It was the destruction domain. Lin Piaomiao's was the void domain. They were both supreme domains. But at this moment Lin Piaomiao's voice sounded in Night Sorrow's mind. The supreme attribute is extremely difficult to comprehend. The Great Demon King is strong because he has a deep understanding of the destruction attribute. But he wasn't born with it. Just like me, he can't be perfect. Look at the FC version of chapter $N up D. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. But he understood that his perfect attribute was the foundation. It was an incredible advantage. When they arrived near Yuchu's mansion, Night Sorrow and the other two hid in the space turbulence and waited. At this moment Pu Luo also arrived. He used to walk confidently, but now he had his hands behind his back, looking old-fashioned. Seeing Li Zongyuan appear, Yuchu stood up to welcome him. Li Zongyuan was currently the leader of their group. When Yuchu clasped his hands to greet him, Pu Luo gave him a bear hug. At this moment, the Great Demon King cut through space and Night Sorrow and the other two appeared in the real world. The Great Demon King's right hand swung the brick and hit the back of Yuchu's head. Night Sorrow's Golden Emperor seal went through the gap between Pu Luo's loosened arm and hit Yuchu's face. Yuchu's face was instantly distorted and flattened. Yuchu's body went limp. No matter how high one's cultivation was, the head was always the weakest part. The violent vibration would make anyone faint. Who asked you to burn my house? The moment Yuchu fell, Lin Piaomiao lifted her skirt and stomped on Yuchu's face a few times with her boots. Your house, that's right. Try this? Pu Luo took out his golden brick and handed it to Lin Piaomiao. Glancing at Pu Luo, Lin Piaomiao took the brick from Pu Luo. She bent down and slapped Yuchu's face twice. Then she stood up and kicked him again. All right, Sister Xian'er, don't do this. It's too rough. Night Sorrow pulled Lin Piaomiao back. It's nothing. Everyone has a temper. Destroying your courtyard is the same as slapping our faces. Lin Piaomiao threw the brick to Pu Luo and clapped her hands. Don't throw it carelessly. This is a divine weapon for smashing people. Pu Luo took the brick and wiped it twice. When we get back, give me your treasures. I'll help you deal with them, Night Sorrow said. The four of them took Yuchu's new equipment and storage ring. After that, Lin Piaomiao, who was still angry, even set a fire. Night Sorrow added a few more flames. He didn't want Lin Piaomiao to bear this karma. After returning to their residence, they began to divide up the chapters. Night Sorrow, you said you wanted to deal with this divine weapon. Don't break it. Feels pretty good when I use it now. Pu Luo tossed the golden brick in his hand and said. He, Great Demon King and Night Sorrow were all very casual when conversing. He didn't use any form of address. We've known each other for a few days now, so I won't hide it from you too. My brick is different from yours. If you hit someone, they'll only feel pain and faint. But mine is different. I have the sacred scripture of the human Tao, the book of Tao on it. If I smash it, it'll destroy one's luck and damage one's merit. Of course, the people I smash are all asking for it. Night Sorrow held the human emperor's seal and activated it. Golden words started to flow at the bottom of the human emperor's seal. F***CK. That's the human emperor's seal. How did you turn it into a brick? Great Demon King stood up and said vulgarly. Yes, it's the human emperor's seal. It's what Li Zongyuan wants. My master, the Peerless Sword Emperor, was worried that someone might covet it, so he helped me disguise it. That's why it's like this now, Night Sorrow said. How did you turn the human emperor's seal into this? Pu Luo shook his head. I think it's pretty good. Whoever it hits will have bad luck. How are you going to deal with us robbers? Great Demon King took out the brick. He didn't put it in his storage ring. He kept it behind his waist, ready to use it at any time. I'll inject some human emperor's chi into your weapon. I don't know how effective it will be, but I'm sure it'll have something with human emperor's chi. Smacking people won't damage your merit and luck, Night Sorrow said. Good. In the future, smacking people will be enforcing justice on behalf of the heavens. Night Sorrow, you're the virtuous emperor. You can smack anyone you want. Great Demon King, how do you feel? Pu Luo looked at Great Demon King excitedly. That's right. I'll smack this thing on that heavens pole old man's face sooner or later. Later, Commander Lin, do me a favor and let me go to evil punishing land. A few years ago I could still sense Guizu's aura, but now I can't. I won't let that thing with ghost chi live, Great Demon King said. He's completely dead. That was before Night Sorrow was banished, Lin Piaomiao said. That old thing is completely dead? That's a good thing. Unfortunately, I didn't get his ghost wings. I only got his ghost eyes. Don't think I killed him. That old thing's cultivation method is too evil. I told him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. What else can I do but kill him? Great Demon King shook his head. At this time, Lin Piaomiao's body shook and a pair of blue energy wings appeared on her back. Ghost wings. Pu Luo's eyes widened. Then Lin Piaomiao told them about how she and Night Sorrow entered evil punishing land. Pu Luo and Great Demon King nodded at Night Sorrow. They knew that this was the power of merit. It could affect fate. Night Sorrow placed Pu Luo and Great Demon King's golden bricks in front of him. Then he activated the virtuous immortal body and activated the human emperor's seal. He channeled the power of merit into the two golden bricks. But after a while he couldn't do it anymore. The power of the bricks was limited. That's it. The power of merit is the power of the heavenly Tao. Not everything can bear it. It's good enough to have a little power of merit in it. Pu Luo stopped Night Sorrow, who was about to continue channeling power of merit. At this time Lin Piaomiao's face turned cold. The Golden Dragon King arrived at Ethereal City, but he left in an instant. What's the situation? Night Sorrow asked. At this time, Night Sorrow's original body felt the vibration of the Clear Sky Pagoda and came out of seclusion. Datura stood in front of the Clear Sky Pagoda. Yun Huang and Liang Yu were also there. What happened? Night Sorrow saw that their faces weren't good. When we were cultivating just now, a middle-aged man in a brocade robe came and took Long Jin away, Yun Huang said. Did he say anything? Night Sorrow's face was filled with killing intent. Brothers were his reverse scale. He only said one thing. He won't hurt Long Jin, Yun Huang said. Chapter 1755. Will Long Jin be in danger? Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. They were brothers who had gone through life and death situations together. No. I just didn't expect Long Jin's bloodline to be so pure that the Golden Dragon King could sense it. Besides, the Golden Dragon King wouldn't go so far to the Misty Dynasty to kill someone. Perhaps this is Long Jin's opportunity. There are too few pure Golden Dragons. Those who awaken the Golden Dragon bloodline will at least reach the Emperor realm, Lin Piaomiao said to Night Sorrow. Hearing Sister Xian'e say so, there shouldn't be any danger. I'm relieved. Night Sorrow let out a sigh of relief and returned to the Clear Sky Pagoda. After confirming that his brother wasn't in danger, he stopped worrying. In the Tianhuang city, Night Sorrow shook his head. What happened? Pu Luo asked. Yishang explained the situation to him. The Golden Dragon bloodline is a big deal for dragons. He will definitely bring it back to awaken it and focus on nurturing it. How could he be hurt? Don't worry. Your brother will be a dragon in the future, Pu Luo said with a smile. While they were talking, Lu Qi arrived. Seventh Elder is here. Have a seat. Lin Piaomiao stood up and invited Lu Qi to sit. It can't be that Yu Chu complained, right? Seventh Elder, look. Night Sorrow's courtyard was demolished and we didn't say anything, Pu Luo said. I'm here to drink tea. I don't have any other intentions. I'm here to tell Yu Chu that I was here. Lu Qi looked at Pu Luo and said. Then they drank tea. Lu Qi asked Night Sorrow if he was used to it and said that someone would repair Night Sorrow's residence tomorrow. Then he stood up and was about to leave. Seventh Elder, that's it? The Great Demon King asked in surprise. It's done. Actually, I'm very envious of you. You can do whatever you want. Lu Qi said and left. If it was someone else, Seventh Elder would definitely say a few words. Last time I had a conflict with Heaven's fate, I was under a lot of pressure. Even the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder talked. Otherwise, Heaven's fate wouldn't have a chance to escape. Now it's good. No matter what happens, nothing will happen, the Great Demon King said. Night Sorrow's fate. Li Zongyuan and the others didn't separate. A big battle was not suitable either. If there was a real fight, then the Great Elder and Seventh Elder would definitely come out. The other party seized the opportunity when Lin Piaomiao wasn't on guard and ran away. They were all peerless experts. If they didn't fight, Lin Piaomiao wouldn't be able to stop them. Lin Piaomiao was furious. She stayed in Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow's original body couldn't cultivate anymore and came out of seclusion. #T forever. Free to read novels. That day when Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were chatting, a middle-aged lady came. She wore a jade phoenix ornament on her head. Ice Phoenix race. You want to snatch people too? Lin Piaomiao's fighting spirit exploded. Elder Lin, don't be angry. I know about the previous few waves of people who came to snatch people. They didn't have any bad intentions. They left after snatching people. I don't want to have any conflicts, the middle-aged lady said. Then why didn't you snatch and leave? Why did you come to provoke us? Lin Piaomiao's hand was still on her sword. I wanted to. But Elder Lin has been staying here. I don't have a chance. Also, I have to get the person I want from him. The middle-aged lady looked at Night Sorrow. Ice Phoenix race, you are here for my Aunt Fei? Night Sorrow understood something. The middle-aged lady nodded. Let's sit down and talk. I won't snatch people. She comes with me, she will. If she doesn't, I won't force her. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow invited the middle-aged lady into the hall of Night Moon Villa. There are some things you don't know. The world you came from is a special place. It was created because of special reasons. Many people, I should say that some people know about it. They have exiled their descendants there to seek opportunities. Now you have seen it. The Green Rock race and the Nine-Tailed Fox race have taken their descendants away. Because they have a foundation, they can start nurturing them. Our Ice Phoenix race naturally has descendants here with you, the middle-aged lady said. Then I won't stop you. Everything will be up to Aunt Fei. Alua went to the Nine Regions world to call her out. She should have recovered by now. Night Sorrow said to Datura, who was sitting at the side. He had helped Wu Feng solve his body's problem. The fire poison in Wu Lingfei's body was also dealt with. She was still in the Nine Regions world, recovering and cultivating. Then I thank you. The middle-aged lady cupped her hands at Night Sorrow. I still don't understand. So, those who were taken away were all from the Nine Regions world, but my brother Long Jin wasn't from there, Night Sorrow said. I can only say that the Golden Dragon King is stupid. He didn't control his strength well and threw his descendant out. In the end he missed. This is a joke. Of course, the result is not bad, the middle-aged lady said with a smile. All right. I'm convinced. I understand. Night Sorrow understood. Long Jin should have been born in the Nine Regions world. A moment later Wu Lingfei and Datura arrived. Wu Lingfei looked at the middle-aged lady and was a little stunned. She felt that she was connected by blood. Child, your mother is in seclusion. So your aunt is here to take you home. The middle-aged lady stood up. You are my aunt? Wu Lingfei's voice trembled. Yes. Once you return home you will understand everything. The middle-aged lady nodded. But I don't want to go back now. The Ice Phoenix race doesn't need me. Wu Lingfei shook her head. No, we have divined that you are the Golden Phoenix of the Ice Phoenix race. This is the second time in the history of the Ice Phoenix race, so there are some responsibilities that need to be shouldered by you. You are the future of the Ice Phoenix race. Once you return to the Ice Phoenix race you will be able to rise quickly. Only then can you keep up with the pace, the middle-aged lady said. Night Sorrow. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow. Family is the root. I have to go back. It can also increase your strength. Night Sorrow nodded at Wu Lingfei. Then Aunt Fei will go back. I will look for you after I see the situation. My roots are also in the Nine Regions world. Wu Lingfei said with a sigh. She had the heart of an expert and wanted to become strong. Kit, you have to work hard. The descendant of the Golden Dragon, the Ice Phoenix race's Golden Phoenix, the Azure Rock's son, and the Nine-Tailed Fox's descendant are all top bloodlines. The middle-aged lady stood up. I know that the Ice Phoenix race is very strong. But I don't want to hear news of my aunt being wronged. Otherwise, no matter how strong you are, I, Night Sorrow, will fight to the end, Night Sorrow said to the middle-aged lady. Chapter 1756. Wu Lingfei left with the elder of the Ice Phoenix race. Liang Yu, how are the members of the God-Slaying team now? After sending Wu Lingfei off, Night Sorrow went to the base of the God-Slaying team. Everyone is working hard. Their strength is also increasing rapidly, Liang Yu said. Sister Xian Air, is there a special environment that can help everyone increase their cultivation speed and level? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. There is the Eye of the Storm. Other than the sovereign attribute there are all kinds of attribute wills. It is suitable for your brothers, Lin Piaomiao said after thinking for a while. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow decided to bring his brothers to the Eye of the Storm. He could comprehend and deduce by himself. However, the members of the God-Slaying team needed the help of the environment. Some of them were still at the Holy King level and needed to comprehend wills. Everyone's cultivation potential was different. Even if Night Sorrow provided them with the spirit accumulation pill to increase their potential, they still had to rely on themselves to comprehend the will of heaven and earth. Lin Piaomiao took out a three-legged cauldron. This has a time acceleration of close to 30 times. Night Sorrow, give it to the right people and let them use it. Night Sorrow did not stand on ceremony with Lin Piaomiao. He handed the cauldron to Liang Yu directly. We will work hard and become the leader's helpers. We can do it in the 9 domains world. In the celestial realm, give us time and we can do it too, Liang Yu said. Of course. There is nothing we can't do. If we work hard there will be no problem. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow, your brother's cultivation speed is undeniable. They are the best in the celestial realm, Lin Piaomiao said. In the celestial realm, it was rare to have the cultivation of a holy king and king at such a young age. Their potential is not lower than anyone else's. They will be key figures in any force, Night Sorrow said. You're the merit emperor. Although they don't have any merit, they're blessed with good fortune. This is something that even the descendants of some races in the celestial realm can't compare to. Lin Piaomiao explained the situation of the members of the god-slaying team. It was Brother Shirsan who gave us unlimited resources and the best conditions for cultivation. The road is paved. We are only responsible for walking it, Qingjin said. Night Sorrow, since you've opened the path, those who walk behind you won't be able to walk ahead of you. However, their speed is definitely fast. As long as they can keep up, they'll definitely succeed. Also, that elder from the Ice Phoenix race said that your 9 regions world is very special. Otherwise, why would the various divine beast races be willing to send their descendants there? It's just that I don't know about these things, Lin Piaomiao said. Brothers, stay alive. As long as you keep striving, you will be able to carve out a path. Night Sorrow waved his arm at the members of the god-slaying team. Captain, go and do your work. I'll take good care of our brothers, Liang Yu said to Night Sorrow. All right. Remember, if anyone doesn't want to follow us, kill them. If there's any problem, come back and find me, Night Sorrow said to Liang Yu. Liang Yu brought his men and the escort Lin Piaomiao caught, Lin Qixing and left. Night Sorrow then returned to the Clear Sky Pagoda to cultivate. Tianhuang City was peaceful now. If Li Zongyuan's group didn't split up, Night Sorrow and the others wouldn't have a chance to kill them. Mo Lu came again. Night Sorrow and the other 3 went up to the city gate tower. Mo Lu threw the storage ring to Night Sorrow. This time, Mo Lu doubled the resources. 20 million Saint Spirit stones, a bottle of Saint Spirit liquid and 2 pieces of meteorite iron. Your demon-winged clan isn't good enough. 20 million Saint Spirit stones is passable. Other than this, it's just scrap metal. Great Elder of the demon-winged clan, if you aren't sincere, then I won't play with you anymore. Tianhuang City's environment isn't good. I plan to return to the celestial realm to cultivate, Night Sorrow said as he put away the storage ring. Yishang, this is just a show of sincerity. I've already taken out a lot. It's not like I don't have anything good that you want. Let's talk. Mo Lu narrowed his eyes at Yishang. If he could, he wanted to punch Night Sorrow's smiling face into pieces. However, he couldn't get angry because Mo Qinji's body was too important. If she recovered, she would be the top fighting force of the demon-winged clan. She could even change the direction of the war between the demon-winged clan and the human race. Have you thought about it? Your demon-winged clan sent 5 monarchs to kill me, an emperor. If I can't let this matter pass, why should I talk to you? 30 million Saint Spirit stones and 50 kilograms of Ash God stone. I'll talk with you. Night Sorrow stated his price. In your dreams. Mo Lu roared. All right. You think I'm dreaming? I won't send you off. Night Sorrow flashed and left the city gate tower. Pu Luo waved the golden brick at Mo Lu, clenching teeth. The Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao followed Night Sorrow down the city gate tower. Then they went to Night Sorrow's yard. Night Sorrow's yard had been renovated. Lin Piaomiao helped with the decorations. It was quite elegant. Night Sorrow, why do you want the Ash God Stone? That thing is the lifeblood of the demon-winged clan. However, you've succeeded. You have to give me some, the Great Demon King said. You cultivate the power of destruction. Night Sorrow also needs to cultivate the power of destruction. You want to rob? You want to rob your own people? Lin Piaomiao looked at the Great Demon King with dissatisfaction. 50 kilograms. I only want 5 kilograms. I'll use other things to exchange for it. I just want to feel if the Ash God Stone can bring about a breakthrough. How can this be considered robbery? The Great Demon King's gaze was fixed on Night Sorrow. Original carrot version _J first release. Alright, let's see if the demon-winged clan will compromise or not. If it's too little they will compromise, but I think it's meaningless. Let's make them bleed. This might be the last time. If they bring it over and I don't talk about it, they won't give us any more resources, Night Sorrow said. That's true. But you're too ruthless. The Ash God Stone doesn't mean much to us humans, unless we cultivate the power of destruction. However, that's not the case for the demon-winged clan. That's their lifeblood. They can't cultivate without the Ash God Stone. Moreover, the production of the Ash God Stone is extremely low. They can only produce 1 kilogram every million years. They don't even have enough for themselves. You want 100 kilograms, which is the production of 100 million years. I'm afraid they can't take it out. After all, they don't have to worry about it. That's right. We're natural enemies. I almost died in their hands. Besides, I have the initiative. They don't have to talk about it. Night Sorrow didn't really care. It was an external benefit. It would be best if they had it, but it didn't matter if they didn't. Besides, he felt that the demon-winged clan would compromise. After all, Mo Chinji was an expert of the tribulation of the 7 emperors. Her status and position in the demon-winged clan was extremely high. That Mo Lu didn't leave immediately. That means there's still room for negotiation. Let's wait. Mo Chinji's body is in your hands anyway, Puluo said. Chapter 1757. You want to talk about blasphemy? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. Yes, they dare not give me 50 kilograms of Ash God Stone. This matter will not end so easily, Night Sorrow said. Update latest/update KNAU1. They have no choice but to accept it, Puluo said. Mo Lu left. He was furious. He had visited twice in a row and didn't even get a chance to talk. 50 kilograms of divine ash stone would damage the vitality of the Demon Wing clan, because it was a product of 100 million years. Although the Demon Wing clan had existed for countless years and had a stockpile of divine ash stone, the Demon Wing clan consumed it every year. Even if they controlled their usage, there was only a stockpile of 50 kilograms. This stockpile was prepared for the inner clan geniuses. Only geniuses with resources would have the opportunity to rise quickly. Now that Night Sorrow asked for 50 kilograms, it was like draining the blood of the Demon Wings race. Disagree? Mo Lu couldn't make such a decision. First of all, he had to carry out Mo Tianji's orders because of his identity and status. Also, looking at the big picture, Mo Tianji was an essential expert of the Demon Wing clan. The strength of the current cultivators was completely different from that of a few years ago. However, Mo Lu also had his misgivings. He wondered if taking out 50 kilograms of Ash Divine Stone would have any effect. This was because this was the right to negotiate. It was hard to say if they would be able to reach a conclusion in the end because Yi Saro was too evil. Returned to the Demon Wing's imperial city, Mo Lu went to the sacrificial tower and stood in front of Mo Tianji's statue. The result. Mo Tianji's voice came out. She only said 2 words. My lord, his request is very high. Mo Lu bowed and said, I don't care. You can't lose your body. Mo Tianji didn't ask for details and directly stated her request. Mo Lu bowed and left the sacrificial tower. He wanted to talk to Mo Tianji, but she didn't let him. After thinking for a while, Mo Lu prepared 2 storage rings. One of them contained the Holy Spirit stones and 10 kilograms of Ash Divine stones. The other storage ring contained 80 kilograms of Ash Divine stones. He planned to keep some backup plans and see if 10 kilograms of Ash Divine stones would work. However, Mo Lu didn't move immediately. If he moved too quickly, it meant that he was in a hurry and that the Demon Wings race had a lot of Ash God Stone. After a month, Mo Lu finally arrived outside the heavenly wasteland city. Night Sorrow and the other 3 appeared at the top of the city gate. After looking at the Demon Tower, Night Sorrow asked, Have you brought the item? Our Demon Wing clan's production of Ash God Stone is very low, and we have a fixed consumption every year. So we only have 20 pounds, Mo Lu said. Tenjin, you can go back now. I can find an expert to refine Mo Tianji's body into a puppet. Even if I sell it to the aboriginals as a plaything, I won't give it to you. If you don't want to talk, then don't talk. Take back the 10 gene of divine ash stone. Night Sorrow roared at Mo Lu, No. I'll give it to you, but I have a condition. No matter what the outcome of the discussion is, you can't desecrate that body. When Mo Lu saw that Night Sorrow was about to leave, he immediately waved his hand. The message from Night Sorrow's words was what he was most afraid of. Once her body was violated, Mo Tianji would be finished. Mo Tianji was related to the cultivation civilization of the demon wing race. She could even be said to represent the fate of the demon wing race. You're still talking to me about this now? You're worried about the resources, but I'm not. If you don't want to talk, I won't talk either. Night Sorrow said to Mo Lu, fine. I'll talk to you. Mo Lu gritted his teeth and threw 2 storage rings to Night Sorrow. After checking them, Night Sorrow kept the storage rings. Now, we can talk about how we can return that body to our demon wing race. That's the body of our ancestor. We can't let it wander outside, Mo Lu said. Mo Tianji is an expert of your demon wing race. If I give you the body, she'll come and kill us humans? Night Sorrow looked at Mo Lu and said, you can state the price. Even if our demon wing race doesn't have it, we'll find a way to gather it for you, Mo Lu said. I won't give you Mo Tianji's body. Night Sorrow wasn't afraid of Mo Lu's anger. He had already gotten the resources. Whether Mo Lu turned hostile or not, he wouldn't get any more benefits. You're shameless. I've given you so many resources, and this is the only reply you can give me? Mo Lu's eyes were bloodshot. He was on the verge of going berserk. Our races are enemies. I'm not going overboard. When I was in Tianhuang Mountain, didn't you try to kill me by hook or by crook? Night Sorrow rebutted Mo Lu, fine. I'll trade these resources for a promise from you. Can you not give the body to others? Mo Lu knew that he couldn't get Mo Tianji's body back. Night Sorrow was considering the overall situation of the human race. I can do that. Give me 10 more cloud dragon fruits. I won't give Mo Tianji's body to anyone, Night Sorrow said. Deal. I'll send it to you in 5 days. Mo Lu let out a sigh of relief and turned to leave. Is he stupid? 50 kilograms of Ashen God Stone for Mo Tianji's body. Did you see that? Why did he take the cloud dragon fruits? Great Demon King was confused. He's not stupid. He thinks that Night Sorrow can't do anything to Mo Tianji's body. He's worried about the experts of the human race. Pu Luo said. I see. Actually, I don't plan on giving Mo Tianji's body to others. Let's go and celebrate. Night Sorrow was happy. He had extorted the demon-winged clan several times. He had gotten 60 million Saint Spirit Stones and some top-quality resources. These were all very difficult to accumulate. Pu Luo and Great Demon King were also very excited. They felt good about being blackmailed. After drinking 2 jars of wine, Night Sorrow gave Great Demon King 5 kilograms of Ashen God Stone. Pu Luo, Sister Xin, do you want it? No, our attributes don't match. Pu Luo shook his head. Lin Piaomiao didn't want it either. She didn't need the Ashen God Stone. Ashen God Stone could only be used by those who cultivated the destruction attribute. It was useless to others. I won't take advantage of you. When we go back, I'll find you some resources suitable for you. Great Demon King said. Forget it. It's boring to divide it so clearly. Don't reject this. He'll send me another 10 in a few days. Night Sorrow took out the cloud dragon fruits and gave 1 to each of them. This time, Great Demon King and Pu Luo didn't reject it because Mo Lu would send more. This is so comfortable. This is life. Pu Luo was very excited. I still want to mess with Li Zongyuan, but this guy is a coward. It's not easy to do it. Great Demon King said. Think of something. After you took his armor, he found someone to make a Vajra battle armor at a high price. That suits me best. Pu Luo said. He liked Li Zongyuan's new armor. He didn't use any weapons, only his iron fists. He cultivated the Vajra battle technique. We have to think of something. I've got it. I'll send my men to attack his territory. You won't go back? We'll go back and mess with him. Great Demon King came up with an idea. Chapter 1758. The elders and commanders of the Heavenly Barren City were almost all leaders of the forces in the Celestial Realm. Other than the forces in the Celestial Realm, the Great Demon King also had the support of another realm. Therefore he could afford to have a war of forces. Great Demon King, let's not rush. Let's wait and see. They can't keep doing this. It's embarrassing, Pu Luo said. Yes, if we start a war of forces, things will get out of hand. It's not good for our reputation. Let's wait and see. There will be plenty of opportunities. You two are also clones. While the original body cultivates, the clones will fight with them, Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Piaomiao didn't want Night Sorrow's merit and luck to be hurt because of a war of forces. Then we'll listen to you. However, our team needs to be strong. The Celestial Realm needs a black brick. Since we can't kill them, we'll just use a black brick. The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said. That's a good idea. We should form a team and do it together. The Grand Elder and the 7 elders also have to look at the big picture. They can't punish us, Lin Piaomiao said. That's a good idea. Ruisi and Yuju met me 2 days ago. They said I had something good to tell them, Pu Luo said. These 2 will do. If we want to do it, our partners must have good character and strength. Just one of them is enough. The great demon king pointed at Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow's cultivation was the lowest. You despise me? And you despise me? Then spit out my ash god stone. Night Sorrow stared at the great demon king. Are you a dog? You're turning against me just like that? The great demon king rubbed his nose. The boat of friendship capsizes just like that? Pu Luo straightened his body and looked at Night Sorrow and the great demon king. No, how can I lower myself to his level? The great demon king said. All right. You win. Night Sorrow shrugged. He knew that the great demon king was joking and so did Pu Luo. They were just looking for fun. Let's make a batch of bricks. In the future we'll give each of those who have a sense of justice and can afford to play with them. Who should we target? Night Sorrow is the best choice, Pu Luo said. All right, you guys decide who you want. I'm only in charge of making a move. The great demon king nodded. Without a chance to attack Li Zongyuan and the rest, Night Sorrow rested in his courtyard. Lin Piaomiao also stayed in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Night Sorrow's courtyard was very lively. People often came to visit. Needless to say, the great demon king and Pu Luo would spend most of their time in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Pu Luo was very talented. Nobody knew where he got his hands on the Tao Te Ching. He took a carving knife and started to carve on his golden brick. Misty, what is this guy doing? Rain Bamboo, who had just joined the group, asked. Forging the human emperor's seal. Lin Piaomiao said. Pu Luo, mine must be done too. The great demon king slammed the brick on the table in front of Pu Luo. Pu Luo, who had been concentrating, suddenly shook his hand. The carving knife slipped and stabbed his hand. Blood came out immediately. In order to improve his senses, Pu Luo didn't have any energy to protect his body. Naturally he bled. Pu Luo looked at the great demon king with fire in his eyes. You made a mistake? It doesn't matter. Let's continue. The great demon king smiled at Pu Luo. Don't come near me for 3 days. Otherwise, don't ask me to do this for you. After staring at the great demon king for a while, Pu Luo realized that he couldn't do anything to the great demon king. He didn't know how to scold him and he couldn't hit him. All right. The great demon king looked at Pu Luo's healed hand, which was still bleeding. He took a few steps back. Pu Luo, will this work? Rain Bamboo, who had a good relationship with Pu Luo, asked. I don't know. But it should look good. At least it will show patterns on someone's face. Rolling up his sleeves, Pu Luo took the carving knife and continued carving under the brick. You're really talented. Night Sorrow was impressed. Now he understood that no matter what status one had, one's inner world was different. Pu Luo's inner world was simple. He just wanted to have fun. Pu Luo was very careful. Even though he knew it was a fake, he still did it carefully. It took him 4 days to carve a Tao Te Ching on the bottom of the brick. Why are you so serious? The great demon king didn't understand why Pu Luo was so serious about carving a word. Although it's fake, it's the Tao Te Ching in my heart. It will accompany me in the future and carry out the justice and morality in my heart, Pu Luo said. There was no smile on his face. He was very solemn. I understand, the great demon king said. At the same time he put his brick in front of Pu Luo. Let's take a break. I'll help you. Pu Luo nodded. Seeing that Pu Luo and the great demon king were busy, Night Sorrow planned to leave for a while and send some resources back to the Night Moon Villa. The Ash God Stone was only suitable for his real body. I update most $quick $up asterisk. Come back soon. Without you, Tianhuang City will be boring. The great demon king looked at Night Sorrow and said, Okay, I'll come back after I send the resources back. It's too ostentatious to carry a lot of Holy Spirit stones. If I get hit by the black brick, it'll be a big loss, Night Sorrow said. That's impossible. But you're right. We'll wait for you to come back. We still have big things to do. Let's take care of Tianhuang City and then go to the divine capital. That's the fun place, Pu Luo said to Night Sorrow. Then Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left Tianhuang City. Sister Xin Er, where are the Golden Dragon Clan, the Green Rock Clan, the Nine-Tailed Fox Clan, and the Ice Phoenix Clan? Night Sorrow asked while sitting in the teleportation portal. They all have their own clans. They're all small spatial worlds. But they're different from ordinary worlds. Their worlds are all connected to the celestial realm. You can also call them grotto heavens. They're here to take people away. They're probably thinking about their descendants. Let's not be hostile, Lin Piao said. No hostility. As long as they don't hurt my brothers, I'll be grateful, Night Sorrow said. These few clans are allies with us humans. Because the demon-winged clan is too strong, we can't rely on humans alone. A long time ago we were defeated and the celestial realm was massacred. Later on, the humans rose and led the 100 clans to take back the celestial realm. Many of our ancestors fell in the war, Lin Piao said. The celestial realm has fallen before? Night Sorrow was stunned. Chapter 1759. Why is the 9-domain world so special? I want to know, but I don't know who to ask. Night Sorrow voiced out his doubts. The Golden Dragon race and the Green Rock race have existed since the creation of the world. It's hard to say what level the Almighty in their race are. It's normal for them to be able to predict something. If there's something good, they wouldn't fall behind. I guess it's because of the perfect supreme attribute, merit and luck. However, all of these are now with you. Their descendants didn't fight for you. Lin Piao said. Sister Xin, you mean they were all after the perfect supreme attribute? In the end, the perfect supreme attribute came to me? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piao and asked. Perhaps. It's not that easy to change the path of the heavenly Tao. However, these races still profited. Their descendants have a good foundation and are also blessed with luck. When they go back and nurture them, they will be the elites of their race. They will be the future pillars. Lin Piao said. That's not right. After I was born, the 9-domain world had existed for tens of thousands of years. Aunt Fei is older than me by a few hundred years. Tianyu and Yi Mei are younger than me by more than 10 years. Long Jin is older than me. Night Sorrow said. They can set a dormant period for their descendants after they release them. They will only be born when they meet certain conditions. It's not difficult for them to grow up. So it's hard to say. Anyway, you're fine now. Lin Piao said. Night Sorrow still didn't understand. The original 9-domain world didn't have supreme attributes. However, Lin Piao didn't know much. Perhaps one day he would have to ask someone who understood everything. After returning to the Yeyue Mountain Villa, Yi Shang handed over the Ash Divine Stones and Saint Spirit Stones to his true body. He had brought back more than 70 million Saint Spirit Stones this time, of which he had swindled 60 million from the Demon-Winged clan. During this period of time, Yi Shang had received about 10 million Saint Spirit Stones from the auction. This amount of resources was something Night Sorrow wouldn't have dared to think about in the past. When he was in Big Dipper City, he only had a few dozen Saint Spirit Stones. Night Sorrow had left the materials for alchemy and artifact forging with his clone. Now, his main body was working hard to increase his cultivation. Alchemy and artifact forging were things that wasted energy and time, so it was best to leave them to his clone. Night Sorrow returned to the 9 Regions world and went to the bottom of the heaven ceiling hall to look at Mo Tianji's body. Mo Tianji's body lay there as if she was asleep. However, there was a murderous aura surrounding her. That was the killing aura of the 9 regions, which could not be absorbed or refined. At the same time, it also prevented other auras from approaching. Feeling that there were no problems, Night Sorrow returned to the 9 regions world and walked around. He felt that other than the rapid development of the 9 regions world, there was nothing special about it. If there was anything else, as the Realm Lord, he would know immediately. Night Sorrow didn't feel anything. He went to the world of reincarnation and sensed the aura of his children. Night Sorrow then teleported to the Origin Dao sky. His body flickered twice and he arrived at a courtyard in the Origin Dao sky. At this moment, there were 2 people sitting in the courtyard and 2 people practicing swords. The 2 sitting were Night Sorrow's 2 daughters, Yi Qingyan and Yi Xiaolei. The 2 practicing swords were Yi Yujun and Yi Xiaoluo. They were both adults now. Father. Yi Qingyan and Yi Xiaolei stood up and hugged Night Sorrow. Their faces were filled with excitement. Yi Yujun and Yi Xiaoluo put away their swords and cupped their fists in front of Night Sorrow. Everyone sit down. How old are you now? You still don't know what to do. Night Sorrow patted his daughter's shoulders and sat down. Father, you haven't been busy recently? Yi Xiaoluo was already a young man. It's fine. I went back to the 9 regions world to deal with some matters. I missed you and came to see you. You're all working hard. Night Sorrow looked at his children and felt very happy. His children were very harmonious and hard-working. Father, it's our fault. We didn't go to see you and made you come all the way here to see us. Yi Xiaoluo said with guilt. There's nothing wrong with you. Remember, you're the best in your father's eyes. As your father, it's not a big deal for me to come and see you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. At this moment, Origin Dao Sky Lord arrived. Night Sorrow was now the domain lord of the primal chaos world. He had a high status and status. Naturally, he had to receive him. 5 Yong Q Gio 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 Gio. Novel K, Origin Dao Sky Lord, I'm very sorry. I was anxious to see my children and didn't go to see you first. Night Sorrow cupped his fists towards Origin Dao Sky Lord. What are you saying, Lord? Your words make me feel ashamed. Origin Dao Sky Lord cupped his fists towards Night Sorrow. After sitting down, Origin Dao Sky Lord discussed some matters with Night Sorrow. He felt that the primal chaos world was very stable now and wanted to search for Origin Dao Sky's inheritance. That's not a problem. However, the safety and stability of the primal chaos world is the most important. In other words, Origin Dao Sky's people can't come to the primal chaos world to develop. Now we're grabbing resources from the primal chaos world. We can't become a resource base for others. Night Sorrow looked at Origin Dao Sky Lord and expressed his opinion. This was also his bottom line. Origin Dao Sky Lord understands. This is the bottom line of everyone in the primal chaos world. We won't be a base for any faction. What the primal chaos world is today was fought for by Lord Domain Lord. Everyone cherishes it. Origin Dao Sky Lord nodded. All the cultivators in the primal chaos world knew that the primal chaos world's limitless room for development was because of Night Sorrow. Therefore they were very grateful and respectful. I've troubled Lord Domain Lord with these children. This is a little financial support from me to Origin Dao Sky. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at Origin Dao Sky Lord and took out a storage ring. Lord Domain Lord, you don't have to do this. You've given me a lot of face by teaching these 4 children. I don't know how envious those fellows are. Forget about the financial support, Origin Dao Sky Lord said with a smile. That was the truth. Origin Dao Sky Lord was teaching Night Sorrow's 4 good seedlings alone. Tang Jianfeng and the others were very envious. It's not like that. In my heart, apart from the God-slaying team in the 9 Heavens Army, the most worthy force in the primal chaos realm is the primal Dao God. For countless years, the primal Dao God has maintained the stability of the world of reincarnation. This is something that no other force can do. Take it. Yishang stuffed the storage ring into the primal Dao Lord's hand. Master, my father's family is very big. You should take it. Yishaluo said. That's good. In the future, when the primal chaos world needs Origin Dao Sky's help, they will have the strength to fight. Origin Dao Sky Lord nodded. After spending a day with his children, Night Sorrow arrived at the Qing Emperor's imperial court and the 9 Chong Pavilion. Seeing Night Sorrow, Nu Lin and the others were very excited. Night Sorrow was the soul of their army. With Night Sorrow around, they would be invincible. Commander, we're too bored. We want to conquer the celestial realm. Nu Lin said. All right. 9 Heavens Army, move to Star Moon Lake. We want to conquer the world again. Night Sorrow looked at the soldiers of 9 Heavens Army and said. Chapter 1760. Yes, sir. The arena was filled with the sound of armor being knocked on. Nu Lin, Qin Leitang and Ning Weiwei Jifeng, Qi Wang, and Qi Wang were all filled with fighting spirit. They were soldiers and war was their destiny. Nu Lin, these are the resources I have prepared for everyone. Remember, resources are meant to be used. If you don't use them, the Holy Spirit stones are no different from rocks. Strength and combat power are actually life. They are the capital to ensure survival, Night Sorrow said to Endeavor. After giving out some instructions, Night Sorrow left the Qing Emperor's dynasty and returned to the celestial realm. He arrived at the Night Moon Villa. Bringing the 9 Heavens Army to the celestial realm was Night Sorrow's idea back in the desolate city. If he had a good relationship with Lin Piaomiao and the stability of the Star Moon Lake, he would be able to develop. Development required protection. Night Sorrow had high hopes for the God-slaying team in the 9 Heavens Army. The God-slaying team was also a part of the 9 Heavens Army. Night Sorrow could afford to raise an army. Not to mention one, even a few wouldn't be a problem because the resources of a realm weren't as abundant as Night Sorrow's. When they arrived at the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow called for Ghost Monkey and asked Red to bring him to the Star Moon Lake. Ghost Monkey would explain the current situation in the celestial realm to the 9 Heavens Army as a guide. Night Sorrow, are you planning to develop fully? Lin Piaomiao asked when she saw that Night Sorrow had sent Red and Ghost Monkey away. Yes, I used to have concerns about the Misty Dynasty and the surrounding forces. Now this problem doesn't exist. If the East Hao Mountain and World Edge Pavilion are hostile to the Star Moon Lake, I will bring people to flatten them. As for the Misty Dynasty, I am the Lord of the Misty Dynasty, right? Night Sorrow had a murderous look on his face when he talked about the Misty Dynasty, but he laughed when he talked about the Misty Dynasty. Not just the Overlord. In the future, I will be able to marry a daughter-in-law from the Misty Dynasty, Dachura said with a chuckle. Oh. Aluo, the Nine Heavens Army needs an emperor. Right now, you and Senior Sandalwood are the most likely candidates, Night Sorrow said as he looked at Dachura. 1 year. Give me 1 more year and I can do it. Dachura's eyes were filled with confidence. That's good enough. Night Sorrow isn't far from a 3-star emperor. If he isn't an emperor, he can kill an emperor. If 2 more emperors appear in the Nine Heavens Army, then it will be a strong army. Lin Piaomiao said. What we need now is time. But don't worry, we have to be patient. A few days ago, I was sorting through my storage ring and found something good. My main body's destruction attribute might improve, Night Sorrow said. It's not the Ash God Stone? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. No, I have a destruction origin stone in my storage ring. I actually forgot about it. A few days ago, I was planning to send some resources back to the 9 regions world. When I was sorting it out, I found it. I'm studying it now. Night Sorrow explained the situation. Night Sorrow had indeed forgotten about it. It was the Thunder Core Iron that he had given to his wife when he helped the fallen Jun Yunan in the Heaven and Earth Pagoda. It was given to him by his wife, the daughter of the Wuling Mountain Lord, Wen Yu. The destruction origin stone is a good thing. Dachura and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other because Lin Piaomiao had given one to Dachura. Yes. If I let go of the restraints and use my soul power to guide it, the destruction origin stone contains a lot of power of heaven and earth. If this continues, my destruction attribute will enter the 2-star emperor realm soon. Night Sorrow said. He was very confident in himself. The destruction origin stone is very rare and has different levels. Usually it contains the power of will. Very few have the power of heaven and earth. The one you got should be a top-level one. This is a good thing, Lin Piaomiao said. After staying at the Night Moon Villa for 2 days, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were about to go to the Heaven Desolate City again when Sandalwood came and went to the Night Moon Villa. Senior brother. Night Sorrow was very happy to see Sandalwood. When he went to the Qing Emperor's dynasty, Night Sorrow checked and found that there was someone in the Heavy Flower Palace, but Sandalwood was not there. Junior brother, I was worried that you wouldn't be here. You really are here. Sandalwood went up and patted Night Sorrow's shoulder heavily. Yes, I almost left. Senior brother, have a seat. Chiu 6 senior sister, let's have a family feast today. Night Sorrow gave up on the idea of leaving. All right. Since senior brother is here, you brothers should have a drink, Sikong Chiu said with a smile. Thank you, sister-in-law. Sandalwood clasped his fists at Sikong Chiu. Night Sorrow introduced Lin Piaomiao to Sandalwood. Sandalwood clasped his fists at Lin Piaomiao. Sandalwood thanks the War Emperor for taking care of my junior brother in the Chaos Realm. You're welcome. No wonder you two are so close. Lin Piaomiao nodded at Sandalwood with a look of admiration. Sandalwood had a strong fighting spirit. The first impression he gave off was that he was a tough guy. I went back to the Qing Emperor's dynasty. Since senior brother is not in the Heavy Flower Palace, I did not disturb senior sister, Night Sorrow said. Recently I've been busy with my cultivation and looking for a breakthrough. I'm here to discuss something with you, junior brother. Sandalwood said. Senior brother, please speak your mind. Night Sorrow was a little puzzled. His senior brother didn't ask for help easily. He didn't know what he wanted to discuss, but he would agree to it no matter what it was. Senior brother, I'm going back to the 9 Heavens Army. The situation is different now. Back then, I left the 9 Heavens Army to you. You could fight and rise together. Now that you're busy, I want to fight with my old brothers, Sandalwood said. That's it? I thought you were going to teach someone a lesson. Let's go back after drinking. The invincible commander of the 9 Heavens Army is back. New Lin and the others will be overjoyed. Night Sorrow was overjoyed. The first commander of the 9 Heavens Army was Sandalwood. Sandalwood's return was definitely something worth celebrating. No, it's not like that. Senior brother, you don't want to be a commander. Back then, I told you that you would be the commander of the 9 Heavens Army. Facts have proven that the 9 Heavens Army under your leadership is developing at a different pace than when I was leading it. So you're the most suitable one. I just want to go back and be a small soldier, Sandalwood said. The 7 commanders of the 9 Heavens Army are fixed. There's no such thing as a commander. Senior brother, You're the most suitable one to be the commander, Night Sorrow said. X/X/X/X/Y/G, no, that won't do. Sandalwood shook his head. You two are really conflicted. Senior brother Sandalwood, you can just go back and be the deputy commander. If I enter the Imperial realm, I'll be the deputy commander of the Nine Heavens Army too, Dachira said. Yes, that's a good idea. Junior brother, what do you think? Sandalwood asked. As long as you don't mistreat senior brother, there's nothing I can't do. Then it's settled. Luo, you can cultivate with your true body and send your clone to the Nine Heavens Army. You should know a bit about the Celestial Realm situation and the areas suitable for training. Night Sorrow looked at Dachira. Chapter 1761. Sure. That's not a problem. As for assimilation, it shouldn't be too difficult. Night Sorrow nodded. The soldiers of Nine Heavens Army and Dark Abyss all knew about the relationship between Night Sorrow and Dachira, so they wouldn't reject it. Everyone drank a lot during the banquet. Seeing the development of Nine Regions World and Chaos Realm, Night Sorrow was very happy. He told Sandalwood and Dachira that his main body was cultivating in Night Moon Villa. If anything happened, they could call him. Night Sorrow's doppelganger and Lin Piaomiao left for Heavenly Desolate City. Night Sorrow didn't know what Pu Luo and Great Demon King were doing over the past few days. They arrived at Heavenly Desolate City's Imperial Teleportation Formation. Sitting on it, Yi Shang and Mandela arrived at Heavenly Desolate City and went to Yi Shang's courtyard. Pu Luo and Great Demon King were still in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Pu Luo rolled up his sleeves and held a carving knife, working. Elder Pu Luo, you're not done yet? Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo and asked. Just call Pu Luo. You guys came back so quickly. You have to be serious when carving the Tao Te Ching. You have to be sincere in your heart. This will have some effect. Pu Luo seriously carved the Tao Te Ching on a brick. Everything's done? This is yours. Great Demon King threw a storage ring to Night Sorrow. Read novels for free for a long time X. I told you the Ash God Stone is for you. Night Sorrow threw the storage ring back to Great Demon King. Just take it. It's suitable for you. I have no use for it. Great Demon King threw the storage ring back to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow glanced at Great Demon King and put away the storage ring. Why don't you take a look? Don't you have any expectations? Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction. Let me take a look first. Night Sorrow smiled and opened the storage ring given to him by the Great Demon King. There were two glowing purple stones that piqued his interest because he could sense what they were. The Void Origin Stone looked the same as the Destruction Origin Stone. The only difference was that they contained different attributes of energy. This treasure of yours is not bad, Night Sorrow said, holding the Void Origin Stone. Ha ha ha. Although I am not as fast as you when it comes to looting treasures, I am still quite capable, the Great Demon King said with a chuckle. Night Sorrow asked, have there been any movements from those guys recently? Do we have a chance to make a move? We didn't have a chance to do anything. They are so shameless now. Those fellas are together every day. But we have a new target. But since you didn't come back, we didn't do anything. The Great Demon King said. What's the situation with that target? Night Sorrow asked Pu Luo. It is time to teach him a lesson. He is also a shameless old man who takes advantage of his seniority to take care of weak forces. So what if he eats it? His table manners are terrible. Pu Luo nodded. Make him spit it out if his table manners are terrible. We will make a move tonight. Night Sorrow made his decision. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, everyone was excited, including the new members Ruisi and Yu Zhu. Night Sorrow, we haven't done anything yet. Let's try it out tonight, Yu Zhu said. What's the plan? Ruisi looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Do we still need a plan? There are 6 of us and the 5 of you are experts. You won't be any weaker than the other party. The 5 of us will work together. As long as one of us gets the right item, the mission will be completed, Night Sorrow said. Yeah. The 5 of us need a plan to get a piece of trash. Pu Luo, your Vajra area is the strongest. You suppress it and we will work together, the Great Demon King said. Okay, we don't have to hug the other party this time. The last few times were so disgusting, Pu Luo said. They brewed tea and chatted as they waited for night to fall to make their move. Li Zongyuan and the others were still together. They were also in a dilemma. They didn't dare to separate, especially Yu Chu. He had been shot twice by Night Sorrow and the others. Night Sorrow, Pu Luo, and the Great Demon King Lantern couldn't make a move, but they were all embarrassed. They were the elders of the human race, but they didn't dare to act alone. They were worse than the weaklings of the celestial realm. Why don't we negotiate? Yuchu couldn't take it anymore. Have you heard of Night Sorrow negotiating with the demon-winged clan? He asked for 60 million Saint Spirit Stones and a lot of resources. In the end, the demon-winged clan didn't get anything. If we negotiate with him, I think he will cheat us, Li Zongyuan said. But if we continue like this, we will lose face, Yuchu said. He felt that since he had been slapped twice, Yi Shang and Pu Luo wouldn't make things too difficult for him. Don't worry, they don't dare to separate, Li Zongyuan said. Li Zongyuan knew that others could negotiate, but he couldn't. He was the leader of this group. Night Sorrow and the others wouldn't let him go easily. Night Sorrow and the others hadn't left yet. Yuchu came looking for an excuse to leave Li Zongyuan's place. He wanted to try to negotiate with Night Sorrow and the others. You still dare to come here? Pu Luo took out his brick. The Great Demon King also took out his brick from behind his back. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to negotiate. How can you let me go? Yuchu quickly waved his hand. At this moment, Pu Luo's brick was only 2 feet away from his head. Night Sorrow, do you want to negotiate? The Great Demon King stood behind Yuchu, cutting off his escape route. We can't kill him with a brick. If he can change, then we can still negotiate, Night Sorrow said to the Great Demon King. If you want to negotiate, sure. Sincerity, we need sincerity, the Great Demon King said. His tone was exactly the same as Night Sorrow's negotiation with the demon-winged clan. Sincerity? After being extorted twice, I really don't have any resources left, Yuchu said with a bitter face. That won't do. We have 6 people here. Wasting time with you every day is mentally and physically exhausting, Pu Luo said. Elder Pu Luo, you can't do this. Yuchu was shocked because he didn't expect Pu Luo to be like this. Pu Luo was the elder of the law enforcement sect, one of the core figures of the Tianhuang city. But now he didn't hesitate to slap the brick. So what if he's the elder of the law enforcement sect? Li Zongyuan is the elder of the law enforcement sect. What has he done? Night Sorrow, what do you think we should do? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow. First of all, the 6 of us, 2 million Saint Spirit Stones each. Then we have to make some promises that we won't do anything immoral. Most importantly, we won't mix with Li Zongyuan anymore, Night Sorrow said. 2 million Saint Spirit Stones each. Hurry up and send them over. As for the promises, it's not important. If you dare to mess around again, we can continue the auction. We can't wait to have this opportunity again, the Great Demon King said and stepped aside. Yuchu nodded and left. He could accept 10 or 20 million Saint Spirit Stones to solve the problem. Chapter 1762. Very good. This is a good sign. If he quits, Li Zongyuan's small gang will be in trouble. Pu Luo put away the gold brick. Is this really okay? We're not just blackmailing him. This is extortion. He won't complain to the Grand Elder or the 7 elders, right? Reese asked worriedly. Do you want the 2 million or not? If you don't want it, we'll each pay 4 million. The Great Demon King looked at Reese and said, What are you afraid of? We're not afraid. Are you going soft? Pu Luo looked at Reese and said, Elder Reese, we're not blackmailing him. We're teaching him to be careful. It's just a small price to pay. This is good for him and for us. Night Sorrow said, That's true. This is a good thing. We've never done this before. But Night Sorrow, you're right. Reese nodded. Let's go. Now we have to deal with that ugly Lu Donghui, Pu Luo said. The 6 of them left. The brick team was getting bigger and bigger. Lu Donghui's strength was at the bottom of the human elders list. Under Pu Luo's King Kong area, he couldn't resist at all. A few bricks hit his head. Night Sorrow and the Great Demon King hit the back of Lu Donghui's head with bricks. Pu Luo hit his face directly, and Lu Donghui fell to the ground like noodles. Lin Piaomiao didn't plan to do anything. She stood guard outside and watched for any sudden changes. Reese and Yu Zhu were holding the bricks in a daze. They didn't hit them because Night Sorrow and the other 2 were too fast. You guys are too embarrassed to hit them? In the future, other than Elder Lin, no one else can hit them. The resources you get will be halved, the Great Demon King said. What kind of rule is this, Great Demon King? Reese was confused. This is to tell you that if you follow us, you won't get anything if you're thin-skinned. If you're thick-skinned, you can eat as much as you want, the Great Demon King said. That's what it means. But I should correct you. You have to do justice for the heavens. Pu Luo nimbly took Lu Donghue's storage ring, and the great demon king also seized Lu Donghue's weapon. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Yu Zhu stepped forward, bent down, and smashed a brick into Lu Donghue's face. A crisp sound rang out and Lu Donghue's nose was flattened. Not to mention the teeth in his mouth, they were all deflated. Yu Zhu, do you have a grudge against Lu Donghui? Pu Luo asked Yu Zhu. No. Yu Zhu wiped the brick on Lu Donghue's robe and said, That's enough. You have a good understanding of the word, responsibility. Let's call it a day. Pu Luo gave Yu Zhu a thumbs up. Then the few of them left. It only took a moment for them to leave as quickly as they came. Starter on the top floor of the tower where the Grand Elder was, the Grand Elder and the 7th Elder were standing in front of a window. These guys are now organized and have a plan. Being targeted by them is bad luck, Lu Qi said. Although it can be troublesome, it is also a way to purify the atmosphere. They won't provoke those who have no bad records. They have a measure in their hearts, the Grand Elder said as he looked outside the tower. In addition, their small team is very cohesive. If there is a battle in the future, they will be the backbone of our Tianhuang city, Lu Qi said. After cleaning up the Tianhuang city, they will move to the divine capital. Although Night Sorrow does not belong to our Tianhuang city, he has made great contributions to the human race. Whether it is suppressing Mo Chenji's body or taking back the human emperor's seal, any one of them is very meaningful. So, there should be room for him to develop in the divine capital. You have a clone in the divine capital. Let King Yewu know, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Let King Yewu arrange it directly? Lu Qi was stunned. Yes, after Yan Wushuang's accident, he was a little depressed and did not care about the world. Night Sorrow has taken Yan Wushuang's inheritance. This should be let him know, the Grand Elder confirmed the arrangement. Okay, then Lu Qi will go see King Yewu tonight. Lu Qi nodded. Little 7, your strength is not a problem, but it won't do if you don't interact with the older generation. Interacting with King Yewu is also a start for you, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Lu Qi will do his best. Lu Qi nodded. The giants of the Demon Wing clan are very strong. Now, our city lord can control the situation, but the future situation can't depend on the city lord alone. So, the Grand Elders have gone out to seek breakthroughs. They will either die or return. In this situation you have to take on some responsibilities. Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao are all very outstanding, but because they are young they are not very stable. They need some time, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Lu Qi understands. My clone is now at the city lord's residence, Lu Qi said. The Shindu city was the first city in the celestial realm. It was the most prosperous city and the core of human civilization. It was not easy to establish a foothold in the Shindu city. It was mainly because of ideology. The city lord of the Shindu city was called King Yewu. King Yewu loved to fight, so the city he was in charge of was not restricted to fighting. If you had the ability you could survive. If not, you could get out of the Shindu city. So, the relationships in the Shindu city were very complicated. Some forces had to work together to survive. King Yewu almost did not care about the affairs in the city. But some things that crossed the line were not done. If they dared to betray the human race they would be killed. Lu Qi stood in front of the city lord's residence and stopped for a while. Then he entered. The guards recognized Lu Qi and did not stop him. The city lord's residence was very big. Lu Qi went to the Yawu mountain in the city lord's residence. The Yawu mountain was where King Yewu cultivated and lived. Not many people were qualified to see him. The human patriarchs were qualified, but they could only wait at the foot of the mountain. It was hard to say whether they could see him or not. It depended on King Yewu's mood. Lu Qi sat quietly in the pavilion at the foot of the Yawu mountain. He was the law enforcement patriarch of the Tianhuang city and the Shindu city, but he had only seen King Yewu a few times. It was like he had never seen the city lord of the Tianhuang city. While Lu Qi was thinking, a man in a purple robe appeared in the pavilion. He wore a purple gold crown. His eyes were like the sun and moon of the Zhongshan River. There was no aura coming from him. He glanced at Lu Qi and sat down on the main seat. Lu Qi, how can someone of your level be so emotional? Greetings, City Lord. I was thinking about something. Lu Qi stood up and bowed to King Yewu. The man in the purple robe raised one hand and gestured at Lu Qi. Sit down and talk. I did not sense anything wrong with the Tianhuang city. There is nothing wrong with the Shindu city either. I am here to talk to you about something. It is also the Grand Elder's idea. A young man may come to the Shindu city to develop, Lu Qi said. Survival of the fittest, King Yewu said. Chapter 1763. What did you say? The purple-robed King Yewu stood up. His name is Night Sorrow. He received the inheritance of the unparalleled Sword Emperor. Before the unparalleled Sword Emperor's soul dissipated, he took him in as a disciple. The main thing is that he's a good seedling, Lu Qi said. It doesn't matter if he's a good seedling or not. What matters is that he's unparalleled's disciple, Fan Tian. King Yewu shouted in the other direction of Yawo Mountain. His voice was like a wave that enveloped the entire mountain. At this time, a man in golden clothes appeared. He flashed and appeared outside the pavilion. Master, what do you want me to do? Go and investigate a person called Night Sorrow. I want all his information. King Yewu looked at the man in golden clothes and said. When Lu Qi saw the man in golden clothes appear, he knew that King Yewu attached great importance to this matter. The man in golden clothes rarely appeared. In the past, every time he appeared there would be a storm of blood. He was King Yewu's only disciple, Fan Tian. He used the Big Dipper sword and was very famous in Shindu City. Bowing to King Yewu, the golden-robed man Fan Tian left. Lu Qi, how much do you know? King Yewu asked. Lu Qi told him everything he knew. The Merit Emperor's merit power is the power of the human emperor. He has no problem controlling the human emperor's seal. I didn't expect unparalleled to take in such a disciple before his soul perished. I'm very happy. King Yewu squinted his eyes and looked at the sky. I don't understand, Lu Qi said. Go ahead. King Yewu looked away. Many people know that the unparalleled Sword Emperor went to the Demon-Winged clan. Why didn't he go and help? Lu Qi felt that it was unfair for Yan Wushuang. He didn't need help at all. If Wushuang wanted to leave and come back, even if his body was destroyed by the tribulation of the 7 emperors, it wouldn't be difficult for his nascent soul to come back. Therefore there was no need for help. I just didn't expect him to be entangled with the Demon-Winged clan for so many years. It was a mistake. King Yewu clenched his right hand and a dark cloud in the sky in the distance was destroyed. Then Lu Qi understands. Lu Qi now knew that the humans of Heavenly Desolate City and God's capital city had not given up on Yan Wushuang. After he finished speaking, Lu Qi left. He understood why the Grand Elder had told him to say that Night Sorrow had obtained Yan Wushuang's inheritance. Without this, King Yewu would have been too lazy to care. He had started talking about the survival of the fittest. After he talked about the relationship between Night Sorrow and Yan Wushuang, King Yewu's attitude changed. In Tianhuang City, Lu Qi told the Grand Elder about King Yewu's reaction and made a decision. That's for sure. The two of them are sworn brothers. Night Sorrow has Yan Wushuang's inheritance. King Yewu will definitely attach great importance to him, the Grand Elder said with a smile. Grand Elder, now that Ethereal, Puyo, and the Great Demon King have a good relationship with Night Sorrow, if King Yewu protects him a little more, his background will be strong enough. His development should be very smooth, Lu Qi said. Night Sorrow is someone who can go through storms, but he is ignorant about some things. In his heart, Star Moon Lake and his own realm are the most important things. He has level 9 merit power and will be the core of the human race. Therefore, friendship and the care of elders are especially important. You will have a sense of belonging. How will you deal with Li Zongyuan's matter? The Grand Elder looked at Lu Qi. Let's mess with him first. When he's done, there's no point in him existing. Let him go back to where he came from. Lu Qi said his thoughts long ago. He was in charge of the rules and discipline, so he would deal with such things. However, the things he dealt with in the past were not as high as they were now. The Grand Elder nodded. He trusted Lu Qi because Lu Qi was decisive in killing. If he didn't like him, he wouldn't show any mercy. Night Sorrow's small courtyard was of a lower standard. It couldn't be compared to the residences of the commanders and elders, but it was already the base of the small team. No wonder you were willing to do this. Bah. This time that old bastard's face changed. Yu Zhu, who had hit Lu Donghui with a brick, was still excited. Yu Zhu, it's good that you have a strong attitude, but it's wrong to gloat. Do you want your happiness to be built on other people's pain? Pu Luo looked at Yu Zhu and said. Yu Zhu didn't know what to say. Pu Luo's words made sense. But soon we won't be able to play in Tianhuang City. We have to change places. Happiness is everywhere. Pu Luo changed the topic. Pu Luo, what do you mean? Whatever I say is wrong, what you say is right. Yu Zhu glared at Pu Luo. Did I say something wrong? Things can be done, but it's boring to talk about it. We still need to cover up our shame. Demon King, am I right? Pu Luo looked at the Demon King. Whatever you say. The Demon King looked at Pu Luo. Then you will be happier, Pu Luo replied to the Great Demon King. While they were chatting, Yu Chu came and handed Night Sorrow a storage ring. After checking it, Night Sorrow nodded. Okay, let's call it quits. Wait. Yu Chu, God is watching. Don't go overboard. If God doesn't punish you, you will. Pu Luo stopped Yu Chu, who was about to leave. Yu Chu nodded at Pu Luo. Don't feel pressured. You've done a lot of bad things in the past, but this time you've done something. Today is the end, but also the beginning. The heavenly Tao has a cycle of reincarnation. This matter is actually a cycle of reincarnation for you. It's not a bad thing because you have another chance to stand up straight, Yishan said to Yu Chu. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Knight, for clearing my doubts. Yu Chu is enlightened. I owe you a favor. Yu Chu bowed at Night Sorrow and left. In the celestial realm, Master was a title for those with high cultivation and high status. Mr. was a title of respect and reverence. Pu Luo, Demon King, you two are right. Compared to Night Sorrow, you're too weak. You took the Holy Spirit stones in exchange for gratitude and a favor, Yu Zhu said. Night Sorrow wasn't joking this time. We wanted to punish and warn him, but Night Sorrow wanted to educate him. He wanted to give him a new belief that Yu Chu wouldn't have any problems in the future. Pu Luo said. Yes, we didn't have enough awareness. It's not enough to cure a patient. The Demon King was touched. You two are too serious. I just said a few words from my heart. I didn't expect it to affect him so much. Night Sorrow said. Who do you think will be the second to negotiate? The Demon King asked. No matter who it is, it won't be Li Zongyuan. Pu Luo smiled. It better not be him. His Haitian dynasty isn't far from the ethereal realm. It's more suitable for Night Sorrow to develop. Lin Piaomiao said. Chapter 1764. Commander Shao, you came knocking on my door? The Great Demon King took out his weapon. Calm down. I have no ill intentions. Night Sorrow, it was my mistake to banish you last time. I won't say that I was blinded by others. A mistake is a mistake. However, you can't treat Tianhuang City as an enemy because of my mistake and cause chaos in Tianhuang City. State your conditions. If I can do it, I'll do it. You can stop, Xiao Jun said. Elder Xiao, what have you been doing these past few days? Pu Luo asked. Although I left the Cliff of Reflection, I was still meditating. Xiao Jun explained his situation. We took care of a few people. Now let me tell you. Li Zongyuan, Zhu Chao, Yu Chu, Lu Donghui and Ban. What do you think of their characters? Do you think we were messing around? You are overthinking. Pu Luo said. If we were to mess around and have no principles, you would be the first person we would look for. The Great Demon King said. Zhu Chao, Yu Chu and Lu Donghui. I understand. Night Sorrow, I owe you. I will do as you say. Xiao Jun looked at Night Sorrow and said. Since Elder Xiao is here, I will say a few words. First of all, the matter between Bai Chuyuan and I will not be resolved. I hope Elder Xiao will not interfere. Night Sorrow made his first request. Bai Chuyuan's character is terrible. He made up stories and framed me. It's good enough that I didn't look for him, much less protect him. Xiao Jun nodded. In addition, I would like to remind Elder Xiao. It's not wrong for you to work hard for the human race, but you must give people a chance. There are two sides to good and evil. You must be more patient with the human race. Night Sorrow said. This is my negligence. I will learn from it. As for the other compensation, you can name it. Xiao Jun nodded and accepted Night Sorrow's suggestion. There's no need for compensation. Elder Xiao, you have gained enlightenment. This matter has a perfect ending. Although I suffered a little, it was also a trip of opportunity. Night Sorrow shook his head. He did not accept Xiao Jun's compensation. Xiao Jun was radical in his handling of matters, but his starting point was not wrong. What's going on? Sigh. Xiao Jun sighed and turned to leave. Night Sorrow, you did the right thing. Xiao Jun really can't be dealt with, the Great Demon King said. I don't plan to teach him a lesson. I won't lead you guys into a ditch, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Well said. What should we do next? Reese asked. He had joined the team because he was worried that the core of the team, Night Sorrow, would cause trouble. What should we do now? Divide the resources. Night Sorrow walked to the center of the courtyard and opened Yu Chu's storage ring. He transferred the 12 million Saint Spirit stones to the center of the courtyard, then stretched out his arm and cut the Saint Spirit stones into 6 piles. You guys can choose first, I'll take last. The few of them immediately packed up the Holy Spirit stones and left, leaving behind a pile of night sorrows. Night Sorrow put his pile into his storage ring. Reese, if you can't do it next time, don't take the Holy Spirit stones. The Great Demon King glanced at Reese. While the few of them were talking, Li Zongyuan received news that Yu Chu and Night Sorrow were negotiating. This made him extremely angry because the people around him were already weak, and now there was one less person. And 4x5z version 1h1d. However, Li Zongyuan had no way to stop this. He went to see the Grand Elder and Lu Qi again. The Grand Elder did not see him, but Lu Qi did. This time Lu Qi did not avoid the question. He directly said that he did not care. He did not want to avoid the question anymore. After receiving a clear answer from Lu Qi, Li Zongyuan left in a huff. Lu Qi clearly did not want to care about him. Li Zongyuan returned to his residence and was furious again because Zhu Chao had also run away. Li Zongyuan left his residence and went to Night Sorrow's courtyard to investigate. It was as he had expected. Zhu Chao was in Night Sorrow's courtyard, negotiating with Night Sorrow and the others. Li Zongyuan thought for a moment and returned to his residence. He told Ban and Lu Donghui to leave quickly. He packed up and left. He knew that if he stayed any longer he would suffer. After receiving the compensation from Zhu Chao, Night Sorrow and the others felt that it was enough. It was not a problem to directly kill Li Zongyuan. They rushed to Li Zongyuan's residence like a swarm of bees, but Li Zongyuan was nowhere to be seen. They went to capture Lu Donghui and Ban again. Night Sorrow and the others found that Ban and Lu Donghui had also disappeared. These bastards are quite fast. Night Sorrow, when do you plan to take down Li Zongyuan's Ocean Sky dynasty? The Great Demon King said. He was a warmonger in his bones. There's no rush. My men are still growing. They still need some time. Remember that territory is mine, Yi Shan said as he looked at the others. Got it? It's yours. You decide when to attack. The Great Demon King nodded. Now that the Tianhuang city is almost done, the Grand Elder and the 7 clan elders will not be able to handle it. Pu Luo said. We have to know when to stop. Let's go to the Divine Capital. Night Sorrow has no territory in the Divine Capital. What should we say? The Great Demon King looked at them and asked. Each of you will give us some territory. Yu Zhu said. No need. I will take whatever I want from my opponents. It's not fun to take from my friends. Night Sorrow shook his head and rejected. While they were talking, Fentian returned to Yawu Mountain and reported to King Yawu about Night Sorrow. After listening to Fentian's report, King Yawu paced back and forth and thought, Wu Shuang is good. He took in such a heaven-defying disciple. Master, this guy is the Merit Emperor, but what he has done is not flattering. He brought a few clan elders of the Heavenly Wasteland City and caused a ruckus in the Heavenly Wasteland City. A few clan elders were hit by them with a specially refined brick. Not only did they hit them, they even robbed them. Currently, there are 4 or 5 human clan elders who have been attacked. The one with the highest level is the law enforcement clan elder Li Zongyuan. This is a skill. It's the core no matter where he goes. If he's really unreasonable, the Grand Elder and Lu Qi will not let him do as he pleases. King Yawu shook his head. Lu Qi said that he wants to develop in the Divine Capital. Then the Divine Capital will be in a mess. Fentian said. Fentian, you're just looking at the surface. The Merit Emperor has merit. How can he mess around? At his level, there will no longer be anything that will harm his merit. Even if it seems wrong, it will become right in the end. The people he takes care of will definitely have bad records. Because people with good conduct will only feel close to him and will not have bad feelings. King Yawu glanced at Fentian and said, Master, do you mean that if he slit someone's throat with a knife, the person who got his throat slit must be killed? Fentian did not quite understand, so he gave an example. That's right. Good people will not be able to trigger his killing intent. If they are killed, they have a reason to be killed. All right, clean up a place for him in the Divine Capital. It's about time. I have to give this senior uncle whom I haven't met yet a gift. King Yawu said to Fentian. Chapter 1765. Not to mention that he can now, even if he can't, I still have to recognize him. Your martial uncle's only disciple, I have to take care of him. King Yawu said. Disciple understands. Fentian nodded. Actually, you and him have the opposite master. You practice sword techniques, but I practice spear techniques. He practiced spear techniques, but he inherited your martial uncle's sword techniques. King Yawu shook his head. After explaining, King Yawu waved his hand at Fentian. Although I haven't seen you before, master must be right. Giving you a mansion can't be bad. Huang Shang, it's you. Your character is not good, but you still have to give a domineering name. After leaving Yawu Mountain, Fan Tian muttered and arrived at a mansion in Divine Capital. It was a mansion with gardens. Huang Shang, get out here. Fan Tian shouted in front of the mansion. Following Fan Tian's shout, a yellow-robed old man flew out. Commander Fan Tian, why have you come to my humble place? The old man who came out had shock in his eyes because Fan Tian's name was too famous in Divine Capital. He was the killing god, and every time he appeared, he would clean up a force in Divine Capital. Nothing much, I'm just here to take your head. Fan Tian said and drew his sword. The sword was the Big Dipper sword. There were 7 shining stars on the 4-feet-long blade. Following the flash of light, Fan Tian's domain and attack were released. Earth, water, wind, fire, lightning, light and darkness. 7 types of elemental light burst out. Although they were only 7 types of ordinary elemental light, they had perfectly fused together. 7th level domain. After the domain exploded, the Big Dipper sword in Fan Tian's hand trembled, and the sword aura began to cut inside the domain. The domain that Huang Shang hurriedly supported was immediately shattered. His body was hit by several swords and then more and more sword aura slashed past. Huang Shang's body was full of holes and then it collapsed. From the beginning to the end, Huang Shang was killed in an instant. Huang Shang did not curse as it was only his clone that was killed. If he dared to curse, then his original body would not be able to live, and the force he belonged to would be eradicated. He was clear about this. Everyone in the mansion, listen up. Get out of here now. If you come back, die. Fan Tian roared. Who in the mansion dared to stay after their leader was killed? They didn't even dare to pack up and scattered like birds and beasts. Looking at the mansion, Fan Tian thought for a moment, then with a flash, he blocked a deacon of the city lord's mansion. He did not care what the deacon did and directly brought him to the mansion. Here are 200,000 Saint Spirit stones. Renovate this place and change the environment. Spend all of it. Don't leave a single Saint Spirit stone behind. Look after this place until someone comes to take it, Fan Tian said. Lord Commander, don't worry. This subordinate will handle it well. The deacon bowed. He knew about Fan Tian. After that, just as he was about to leave, Fan Tian, who had walked a few steps, turned around, removed the signboard and replaced it with a new one. Sir, what should we name the new plaque? The deacon asked. Night Moon Villa. He had been to the Misty Imperial Court before and knew that Night Sorrow's residence in the Misty Imperial Court was called Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow and the rest stayed in the Tianhuang city for a few more days. After failing to catch Zhu Chaohe, the Great Demon King suggested that they go to the Divine Capital. That's the real world. This place is a little desolate, the Great Demon King said. But there are some things that we have to pay attention to. There are a few unscrupulous people in the Divine Capital. We're fine. Even if they want to kill us, we have the ability to protect ourselves. However, Night Sorrow is different. That means that when we reach the Divine Capital, we have to know what we're doing. Once we're there, we have to pay a visit to the 7th Elder, Pu Luo said. Are you talking about that murderous Fan Tian? The people we're going to take care of are those with bad morals. Without the City Lord's mansion's order, he won't do anything, the Great Demon King said. They had their own forces in the Divine Capital, so they knew the city well. That's it then. Let's go, Lin Miao Miao said. Said Lin Piao Miao. She also wanted to see Yi Shan make a name for himself. The Tianhuang city was like this, but the Divine Capital was a different space. Before leaving, Night Sorrow planned to pay a visit to Lu Qi and tell him about his trip to the Divine Capital. Lu Qi had been to the ethereal Imperial City, and Yi Shang had seen him before. They were familiar with each other, so he had to say goodbye before leaving. Furthermore, he had caused a huge ruckus in the heavenly desolate city, so he had to leave an explanation. In the tower, Night Sorrow saw Lu Qi. The Grand Elder was there too. Night Sorrow, you're here. Lu Qi greeted with a smile. Night Sorrow greets the Grand Elder and 7th Elder. Night Sorrow bowed to the Grand Elder and Lu Qi. Let's sit down and talk. You're here to see us. Seems like you're done and are about to leave, the Grand Elder said. Great Elder, it seems like you're a little angry. Yi Shang is here to make things clear. Yi Shang did cause trouble, but he didn't cause trouble for good people. The people he caused trouble for were all people with bad characters and bad records. Yi Shang revealed his main purpose. I know, I understand. It's a good thing. At least there's a change in Yuchu. He volunteered to guard the passage between the human race and the foreign races. The others will be cautious and won't dare to do anything, the Grand Elder said after looking at Night Sorrow. The Grand Elder is not annoyed. Night Sorrow is relieved. Night Sorrow is here to bid farewell to the two elders. Night Sorrow stood up and bowed to the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder again. Sit down first. There's no rush. The Grand Elder waved his hand. Night Sorrow looked at the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder before sitting down again. You guys are going to the Divine Capital, right? But in 5 years you have to come back. 5 years later, the 100 Race Alliance will be selecting the first vanguard. I want you to participate, the Grand Elder said. 5C1 orders. I can't. I don't have the strength to take on such a big responsibility, Night Sorrow refused without thinking. Because there were crouching tigers and hidden dragons in Tianhuang City. Not to mention the human elders, they were all experts. There were also many commanders. These commanders were all very strong. Lin Piaomiao and the Great Demon King were both commanders. There is a limit to who can fight for the vanguard position. Only cultivators under the Emperor rank can fight for this position. This position has been vacant for a while. Although there have been deaths, we humans have never given up this position. We have always fought for it. The Great Elder said. Below the Emperor rank, wouldn't a 6-star Emperor rank be able to kill me easily? Night Sorrow looked at the Grand Elder. 5 years is a short time, but it's also a long time. I have confidence in you, the Grand Elder said. The warriors of our human race, even if they knew they would die in battle, they would never retreat. As the virtuous emperor of the human race, would you retreat? I was once the first vanguard of the human race. Lu Qi looked at Night Sorrow. Let me know when the time comes. Night Sorrow looked at Lu Qi and nodded. Chapter 1766. The Peerless Sword Emperor has an inheritance for you, but he's a sword cultivator. You can only learn spear techniques from him. I specialize in spear techniques. Take this spear manual and study it. It might be helpful to you. The Grand Elder took out a spear manual and handed it to Night Sorrow. Grand Elder. Holding the spear manual, Night Sorrow was stunned. This was an inheritance. Lu Qi and the others had to call him Senior Peerless Sword Emperor, but the Great Elder didn't. This was because he was someone from the same era and had lived until now. He was a true giant of the human race, a true almighty. His inheritance was something that many people dreamed of. Take it. This is the Grand Elder's hard work. We have to make the best use of it. Lu Qi nodded. After you go to the Divine Capital, go and see the Seventh Elder. The Grand Elder got up and left. My mansion in the Divine Capital is called the Sword Mansion. You can go to the City Lord Mansion and find me there, Lu Qi said to Yishan. After Night Sorrow left the tower, he returned to his courtyard. Things are done. Let's go. Night Sorrow said to the people waiting. Then they took the Imperial Teleportation Array and arrived at the Divine Capital. Let's go to my residence first. Lin Piaomiao said after exiting the Teleportation Array. The group agreed. Although they all had their own territories, they could talk when they were together. They had been working hard and cultivating hard. Now that they had a like-minded partner, they were happy. After arriving at Lin Piaomiao's residence, Night Sorrow drank a few sips of tea with everyone and left. After asking around, Night Sorrow arrived at the Divine Capital. However, he was stopped by the guards. The Divine Capital's City Lord residence wasn't a place that anyone could enter. Night Sorrow said that he wanted to see Elder Lu Qi. The guard went in to report. When he came out, he said that Night Sorrow wasn't there. After asking the guards of the City Lord's mansion, Yishang found Lu Qi's sword mansion. You came quickly. Night Sorrow had just arrived when Lu Qi appeared. Night Sorrow greets Seventh Elder. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Lu Qi. Lu Qi smiled as he brought Night Sorrow into the mansion. An attendant brewed tea for him. Lu Qi introduced the situation and rules of God's capital to Night Sorrow. Currently, Elder Yan Qi was in charge of running the Divine Capital. He was mainly in charge of the City Lord's mansion's tax collection and business operations. As for upholding the rules, it was the City Guard Army. The City Guard Army had 2 commanders. Their way of upholding the rules was very simple, which was to kill. If you don't touch my bottom line, I'll ignore you. If you touch my bottom line, I'll wipe you out. No one cares about things like fighting for territory or killing for revenge. However, if you commit crimes and lose your morals, you'll be in trouble. This rule is really cruel, Night Sorrow said. This was the first time he had heard of such a rule. This is the only way to produce experts, isn't it? This is also King Youwu's character, Lu Qi said with a smile. There's a reason why it exists. Don't worry, Seventh Elder. I won't do anything immoral, Night Sorrow said with a smile. He didn't want Lu Qi to worry. Know your bottom line and do what you need to do. There won't be any problems. God's capital suits you, Lu Qi said with a smile. He knew that even if Night Sorrow continued to smash bricks, the City Lord's mansion wouldn't punish him severely. Thank you for your advice, Seventh Elder. Night Sorrow will go back first. After drinking a cup of tea, Night Sorrow stood up. He wasn't here to ask for help. He was here to pay a visit. After reminding Night Sorrow, Lu Qi sent Night Sorrow out of the mansion. After leaving Lu Qi's mansion, Night Sorrow walked around the city. Then he returned to Lin Piaomiao's mansion. In a waterside pavilion, Ruisi held a large piece of white paper in his hand. It was filled with names. Some of the names were marked with X's and their misdeeds were noted. Behind every name on the list, there was an evaluation. It was an evaluation that Pu Luo and the others agreed with. You're back. We're studying the list. It's all the famous people in God's capital. However, we can't do anything to some of them. We can only eliminate them first and find someone who can be dealt with, Pu Luo said. We can't do anything to them. Let's put them aside for now. Night Sorrow nodded. Some things couldn't be done by force. At this time, the guards of Lin Piaomiao's mansion came to report that someone wanted to see Night Sorrow outside. Fen Tian? Pu Luo's eyes were cautious. Before the guards arrived, everyone had already detected Fen Tian's arrival. Pu Luo and the Great Demon King looked at each other and stood up. Night Sorrow, the situation is not good. Lin Piaomiao's face was also very cold. Then the voices of Lin Piaomiao and the others resounded in Night Sorrow's mind. They were communicating with Night Sorrow using their soul power. They did not want Fen Tian, who was outside the mansion, to hear them. Their intentions were more or less the same. This Fen Tian was not to be trifled with. Not to mention his own strength, he had a powerful backer, Marshal King Ye, behind him. His purpose in God's capital was to kill. I didn't expect such a person to come knocking on my door when I just arrived in God's capital. But it doesn't matter. Night Sorrow smiled at them. He stood up and walked out of the mansion. Fen Tian stood outside Lin Piaomiao's mansion. Naturally, he could see everything in the mansion. When the few of them stood there in silence, he naturally knew that they were communicating with their soul power. Noticing that Night Sorrow shook his head at Pu Luo and the others, Fen Tian knew that Pu Luo and the others had told Night Sorrow about his identity. Fen Tian knew his own situation. He did not have a good impression in the hearts of the people in God's capital. No one was willing to see him appear. Night Sorrow arrived at the entrance of the mansion and cupped his hands towards Fen Tian. Night Sorrow greets Commander Fen Tian. I wonder why Commander is looking for Night Sorrow? Nothing much. I'll bring you to a place. Fen Tian looked at Lin Piaomiao and the others who were walking out of the mansion. Go to a place? All right. Night Sorrow nodded. Fen Tian and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other. Lin Piaomiao, the Great Demon Lord, and Fen Tian were all ranked at the top of this year's Divine Demon list. If you're interested, we can go together. After looking at each other for a while, Fen Tian said and turned to leave. The few of them flew in the city. After a while, they arrived at the mansion that Fen Tian had prepared. It was now the Night Moon Villa. Night Moon Villa. Looking at the signboard, Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment. Night Moon Villa was the signboard of his residence in the Misty Empire. At this moment, the City Lord's mansion enforcer who was guarding the Night Moon Villa bowed to them. Fen Tian was the commander of the City Lord's mansion and he knew him. Although Lin Piaomiao, the Great Demon Lord, Pu Luo, Ruisi and Yu Zhu were not from the City Lord's mansion, they were still the leaders of the forces in God's capital. They were all very famous and he naturally knew them. You can go back. There's nothing for you to do here. Fen Tian waved his hand and entered the mansion. Although Night Sorrow was confused, he followed him in. He did not know what Fen Tian wanted to do. Fen Tian did not say anything. He brought Night Sorrow and the others to walk around the mansion. Then they went to the main hall of the mansion and waved his hand to dismiss the maids in the main hall. Night Sorrow, how is this mansion? Very good. I just don't know why it's called the Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow asked. Because from today onwards, this will be your Night Moon Villa. Fen Tian said. This place doesn't belong to Huang Shang. Why is it Night Sorrow's? The Great Demon Lord asked. Chapter 1767. Who gave me the gift? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. You will know when the time comes, but it's not mine. I will also give you a gift, but I haven't prepared it yet. Fen Tian said. Night Sorrow was puzzled. He only knew a few people from the celestial realm who came from the desolate heaven city. It was hard to understand why someone from the divine capital would give him a mansion with a garden. If you like it, it's fine as long as you think it's suitable. Fan Tian looked at the pondering Night Sorrow and said. King Yewu only asked him to clean up the place and give it as a gift, he did not say anything else. If someone dares to give it to me, then I dare to accept it. Thank you, Commander Fan Tian. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Fan Tian. It's nothing, I just killed someone once. Fan Tian shook his head. Looking at Night Sorrow, Fan Tian thought of what King Yewu said. Before they met, Fan Tian did not have a good impression of Night Sorrow. He felt that although Night Sorrow was talented, he was too good at tormenting others. But when he saw Yi Shang in person, he realized that Yi Shang did indeed have a unique charm. His every movement was natural, and he did not reject or be on guard against him just because of his reputation. Oh, I'm afraid I can't kill for you, Commander. Today I can only give you a jar of wine to express my gratitude. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and handed it to Fan Tian. Jersey, since you've just arrived, you have many things to take care of. This commander shall not disturb you any further. Another day when you've stabilized, this seat will come and find you again. Fan Tian took Yi Shang's wine, nodded to Yi Shang and left. He did not let Yi Shang send him off. Walking to the front of the mansion, Fan Tian stopped. He felt that this disciple of his martial uncle was not bad. With a wave of his arm, Sword Chi appeared. On the bottom right corner of the signboard, the words Night Moon Villa were engraved. Night Sorrow slapped his forehead. He still couldn't figure out who would be so generous as to gift him a manor with a garden. Great Demon Lord, what is the meaning of this? Hu Luo looked at the Great Demon Lord. They had all detected Fan Tian's actions after he walked out of the mansion. Can you be any dumber? What he means is that this Night Moon Villa is under his protection. Whoever is not convinced can try attacking him. The Great Demon King said as he lay down on a lounge chair in the hall. It's not strange for Fan Tian to kill people. He has killed many people, but this is the first time he has protected someone, right? Yu Zhu also did not understand. He's too good at pretending. Are you sure Night Sorrow has nothing to do with this guy? Hu Luo also found a recliner to lean on and rocked back and forth. I was born in the Boundless region and then mingled in the Misty Dynasty. I didn't even know about the desolate heaven city and the divine capital city. How can I have anything to do with Fan Tian? Night Sorrow said. Fan Tian said that this greeting gift is not his. How many people can order him around? Misty Meow, who had been silent all this while, said. The city lord's mansion. If the Elders Guild wants to clean up any forces, they can order him around. If it's a person who wants to ask him to do something, not many people can do it. Not to mention his personal strength, his background is too strong, the Great Demon Lord said. Yeah. He is the only disciple of King Yewu. With this identity, who can order him around? Ruisi also muttered. King Yewu. Maybe after knowing that Night Sorrow is the virtuous emperor and that Night Sorrow punishes evil and promotes good, he gave Night Sorrow a luxurious place to stay. Yu Zhu, who was studying a jade sculpture in the hall, said. Sister. You think too much. We have never seen King Yewu before. This kind of thing can't attract his attention. Unless some big shot from the Demon Wing clan comes, he won't be interested in showing himself. Ruisi reached out and took the jade sculpture in Yu Zhu's hand. Then, with a move of his finger, the jade sculpture disappeared. Hurry up and spit it out. This is our territory. Are you trying to steal something? Hu Luo glared at Ruisi. Oh, it's a habit of mine to deal with those bastards a few days ago. Whenever I see something good, I want to take it. Ruisi looked at Night Sorrow embarrassedly. Take it if you like it. Night Sorrow waved his hand. Ruisi was embarrassed. He took out the jade sculpture, wiped it with his sleeve, and placed it back in its original position. Then they discussed and decided that Night Sorrow's mansion would be their base. There were no trustworthy servants, so Lin Piaomiao would make the arrangements. Hu Luo and the others drank tea and chatted. They had set a goal. They would go to Lu Donghui's territory later to cause trouble. Actually, they could do it now, but they were used to doing it when the moon was high and the wind was dark. Night Sorrow was deep in thought. He couldn't figure out what was going on. Lin Piaomiao came to Night Sorrow's side. Are you still thinking? Actually, there's no need to go through so much trouble. First, we can confirm that Fan Tian doesn't have any ill intentions. As for the favor, there will be a chance to return it. There are some developments that are no longer within my control. Originally, I just wanted to cultivate steadily and give the Chaos Realm a stable place. I wanted to slowly step into a higher realm. But now I'm walking step by step. I can't even imagine it. Perhaps one day I'll have to return to the Nine Domains world and lie there, said Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, don't think like that. This is the day of passion. If you go back, there won't be any fun. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, Pu Luo, who was leaning on the recliner, sat up straight. That's right. If you want to get a wife and start a family, we'll help you arrange it, the great Demon King said. Night Sorrow already has a few wives. Does he still need you to arrange it? Lin Piaomiao said stiffly. Then who are you? Yu Zhu asked curiously. Mind your own business first. Lin Piaomiao glared at Yu Zhu. In terms of status in the human race, Pu Luo was the highest. He was the enforcement clan elder. The others were clan elders, but their strength was about the same. No one talked about status because they didn't care about it. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao apologetically. Because of this, Lin Piaomiao was a little embarrassed. Night Sorrow knew about the relationship between the two. Lin Piaomiao and Sikong Chuyu could be said to have reached an agreement with the Yi family. It was just that it wasn't on the table yet. Lin Piaomiao was a clan elder of the human race. She was the number 1 on the celestial demon ranking, the Misty Battle Empress. Yu Zhu, this is what you don't understand. The world of love can't be measured by this, Pu Luo said. You sound like you understand. So what if you're the enforcement clan elder? Love isn't your field of expertise, Yu Zhu said. You're interrupting my thoughts. Night Sorrow, I've been thinking about the mansion. Who's the one behind it? Pu Luo said. You sound so serious. You sound like you know. Rui Si glanced at Pu Luo. In Tianhuang City, every enforcement clan elder had a few assistants. Xiao Jun's assistants were Gu Qi, Elder Ling Shu, and Bai Zongyuan. Rui Si and Yu Zhu were Pu Luo's assistants, so the three of them had a good relationship. Chapter 1768. Who are you talking about? If it was before, I would have tolerated it. But now we are all elders of the human race. Big Demon King stared at Pu Luo. Okay. You are not small fries anymore. Now let's talk about what you don't know. First of all, you don't know the relationship between Peerless Sword King and King Yewu. They are sworn brothers. If King Yewu recognizes Night Sorrow, then Night Sorrow will have to call him uncle or uncle. Pu Luo told them what he knew. In other words, murderous embryo Fan Tian should be Yi Shang's senior brother? Yu Zhu was astonished. That should be it. Otherwise, when has that guy ever been polite to others? He even gave him a mansion? But this mansion is so extravagant. It's even more extravagant than ours. If I knew this mansion was so extravagant, I would have killed Huang Shang earlier. Rui Si took a pen and drew a line on the name list in his arms, crossing out Huang Shang who was originally on it. So, Night Sorrow's backer in God's capital is very strong? Big Demon King looked at Night Sorrow as if he was looking at a rare animal. If King Yewu recognizes him, then he has a strong backer. But who is King Yewu? We are emperors, but if he wants to attack us, we have to run away. We might not even be able to do that. It's not easy to get his approval, Pu Luo said. Is the difference that big? Night Sorrow was confused. Big, very big. Every 10 billion years an emperor's trial will happen. It's called the 9 trials of the heavenly path. Then every 100 billion years there will be an emperor's trial. According to the rules of the human race, those who pass the emperor's trial will become elders. Those who pass the emperor's trial will become law enforcement elders. Me and Lu Qi are exceptions. We are young and we haven't passed the emperor's trial, but we are strong enough to fight against an emperor's trial. Elder Lin and Big Demon King are elders, but they didn't pass the emperor's trial because they are strong. The Peerless Sword Emperor, the Great Patriarch and King Yewu are all from the same era. They have passed the 7 emperor tribulations. How can the gap between their strength and ours, who haven't even passed the first emperor tribulation, not be huge? 7 emperors trial, 7 epochs, 700 billion years? What does that mean? Then, there would be many experts in the tribulation of 6 emperors and 5 emperors. That's too deep. Night Sorrow. It's not like that. Currently, our human race doesn't have such a cultivator. 7 eras ago, when the human race was at its peak, there were several heaven-defying geniuses. They had always been the mainstay of the human race. After that, there were no more powerful geniuses. There were some who crossed the first sovereign tribulation, but not many who crossed the second sovereign tribulation, and none who crossed the third sovereign tribulation. However, those geniuses defied the heavens and fought against the demon-winged clan. Senior unparalleled sword emperor didn't pass the tribulation of the seventh emperor, not because he wasn't strong enough. According to the ancient records, he cultivated a heaven-defying battle technique to increase his strength. He was envied by the heavens and his body was destroyed. Pu Luo said in a low voice. He was the pride of the human race. Of course, he was also a sinner in the hearts of some ignorant people. After Yan Wushuang disappeared, the emperor's seal was also outside the human race. They wrote a glorious record for the human race. They are seniors worthy of respect. Knight Sorrow poured a cup of tea, raised it to the sky and poured it on the ground. Envied by the heavens? What's going on? Lin Piaomiao was puzzled. The law enforcement patriarch has some authority. He can read some ancient books. Actually, Peerless Sword King didn't pass the seventh emperor's trial. He touched the taboo of the heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao sent emperor realm experts. It's a god-destroying tribulation that only appears in one reincarnation. He actually had the strength to pass the ninth emperor's trial. Pu Luo said in a low voice. Then he's the strongest of the human race? The great demon king's eyes were full of light. How would I know that? But I do know that the guardian of the heavenly wasteland city is very strong. After he rose in the last tribulation of the human tribe, all the experts of the Demon Wing clan who came to invade, no matter what level they were at, were all defeated. Their clones were all killed. Pu Luo said. The city lord of the heavenly desolate city? Lin Piaomiao asked. Yes, the strongest of the human race. Even King Yawu would agree. Pu Luo nodded. Then I have a question. What is the level of Tran Hung, the author of the Celestial Demon List? What is his position in the human race? Knight Sorrow asked the middle-aged man in a loose robe. I don't know. His position in the human race is very high. He doesn't communicate with others. Even the law enforcement patriarch has only seen him a few times. In fact, many people have guessed that Tran Hung is the city lord of the heavenly desolate city. The city lord of the heavenly desolate city has appeared a few times. I have seen him, but he was just an energy clone. I couldn't see his real face. Pu Luo shook his head helplessly. This thing is too deep. We can't touch it yet. Yu Zhu said. We are indeed trash in front of them, but we will go against the flow. They will create an era and the current era will be ours. Countless years later, the future generations will talk about us like this. I, the great demon king, am undefeated. I will continue my legend of being undefeated. You, the great demon king, can do it. I, Lin Piaomiao, can do it too. Lin Piaomiao said. I, Knight Sorrow, have never been defeated before. Then we will create a legend that belongs to us. Knight Sorrow raised his right hand above his head and clenched it together. The few people present didn't know that this day would be the beginning of an epic. The future generations would call it the beginning of the gods' era. Invincibility began from this moment. It seems like we are short of people. Fentian appeared in the hall. Why are you here again? Great Demon King looked at Fentian and asked. Yishang, I came to find you because I wanted to tell you that if you have time, you can exchange your cultivation experiences with this commander. This commander has a peerless spear manual. Fentian looked at Yishang and said. What kind of spear art can be called peerless? You should forget about it. Great Demon King said. What do you know? Master is practicing the spear. Can his spear art be called peerless? You are above me on the divine demon list this time. I really want to see what level you are at. Fentian looked at Great Demon King, his eyes were filled with fighting spirit. Come. I also want to see what kind of fighting strength the #1 killer of Divine Capital has. Great Demon King was a little angry. No one could provoke him and he had to submit to the provocation. Another day, another day. Pu Luo said to mediate. On the latest chapter of PT. I am sorry, I have the inheritance of the Sword Dao, but it belongs to Master. I will not use Master's inheritance to make any transactions with others. Knight Sorrow looked at Fentian and said. You will exchange it one day. Fentian looked at Knight Sorrow and shook his head. At this moment, his impression of Knight Sorrow had improved once again. This was because he was determined and he was determined. You are very confident, but I still insist. Knight Sorrow looked at Fentian and smiled. Chapter 1769. Do you think it's a rotten brick that can be picked up anywhere? Pu Luo glanced at Fentian and said. Deep enmity? There's no need for that. If you want to hit the brick, wouldn't it be good to have one more person? Are you more familiar with the divine capital city than me? Is your information more comprehensive than mine? Fentian said. Your master is the city lord. If you follow us and mess around, won't Senior Yawu clean up the house? The Great Demon King asked. This commander's master said that I can do whatever I want, even if it's wrong. If it's really wrong, he will bear it with me. This commander's master is not as shallow as you think. Fentian glanced at the Great Demon Lord and said, Fentian, actually, don't ask us. The core of our team is him. Our divine tools, without Night Sorrow's help, are actually just rotten bricks. Puluo said to Fentian, how about this? We can't be careless about this matter. Let us think about it and give you an answer in a few days. Also, I want to ask, is this mansion the intention of Senior Yawu? Night Sorrow looked at Fentian and asked. You guessed it, so be it. Fentian left. He did not want to talk about it anymore, mainly because he did not want to talk about Guan Yu Yawu. After Fentian left, Night Sorrow and the others drank a jar of wine and set off. They went to Lu Donghui's territory and went straight to Lu Donghui's mansion. This time, it was different from the time in the Heaven Wasteland City. In the Heaven Wasteland City, they had to consider the interference of the Grand Elder and the 7 clan elders. They had to end the battle quickly and not let the situation escalate. However, in the Divine Capital City, whoever had the ability could fight. Of course, if you relied on your cultivation to commit crimes and bully people, and were complained to the City Lord's mansion, then you would be dead. Night Sorrow and the others touched Lu Donghui's mansion. At this time, Lu Donghui was drinking and throwing a tantrum. He had lost a lot of face this time, and he would not dare to go to the Heaven Wasteland City in the future. If he dared to go, Night Sorrow and the others would really teach him a lesson, and he would continue to be slapped in the face. Although Lu Donghui was angry, there was nothing he could do. Among the 6 of them, he was the only one who could defeat Night Sorrow. So what if he could defeat Night Sorrow? Pu Luo, the Great Devil King, and the other 5 people obviously had Night Sorrow as their core. The first time the brick hit someone was when Night Sorrow hit Li Zongyuan's 2 disciples. While Lu Donghui was drinking and cursing, Pu Luo and the others rushed into the hall of Lu Donghui's mansion from all directions. Then their domains erupted, suppressing Lu Donghui. After Night Sorrow released his domain, he used Void Step to appear above Lu Donghui. When Pu Luo, Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao's bricks hit him, he came down from above. The human emperor's seal directly hit Lu Donghui's head, causing Lu Donghui to fall to the ground. This caused Ruixi and Yu Zhu's bricks to miss. The Great Demon King went to take Lu Donghui's storage ring, Pu Luo went to take Lu Donghui's armor, and Lin Piaomiao took everything valuable in the mansion. Soon everything was done. The brick hitting was completed. Let's go, Pu Luo shouted. Before leaving, Yu Zhu bent down and gave Lu Donghui a smack on the face. Then she followed Night Sorrow and the others back to the Night Moon Mansion. It's another exciting moment. Let's split the loot. Pu Luo smiled and handed the storage ring to Night Sorrow. The Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao also handed the loot to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, I have a few words to say, the Great Demon King said. Go ahead. Night Sorrow didn't know what the Great Demon King wanted to say. Let's conclude first. You, an emperor, can hit someone with a brick. What about the other 2? Emperor? Patriarch? Patriarch of the human race? Just watch like idiots. Cut it in half. The resources must be cut in half to stimulate their motivation. The Great Demon King pointed at Ruixi and Yu Zhu. You guys are so fast. Where can you find the brick? Ruixi was speechless. Lu Donghui's head was only so big. If Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, Lin Piaomiao, and Night Sorrow were to hit him, there would be no place for him. Fast hands get nothing. Don't you know this? You lack a positive attitude. The Great Demon King said. I agree with you, but you can't cut mine in half. The resources don't matter, but this is about face. Didn't I hit him? I was afraid that he would wake up, so I hit him with a brick. Yu Zhu said. That makes sense. Your brick was quite ruthless. The Great Demon King nodded. Hey, Ruixi, your attitude isn't positive enough. I support you to cut it in half. Pu Luo smiled. You guys are ruthless. I admit it. I didn't hit him. Ruixi lowered his head and rubbed his eyes. You go first. I'm just kidding. Let's split it evenly. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Since you're aware of this, let's continue to split it evenly. The Great Demon King nodded. He didn't really want to make things difficult for Ruixi. He just felt that Ruixi couldn't keep up with the pace and wanted to encourage him. After all, Ruixi wasn't used to this kind of thing. Really? Then I'll hit the brick twice next time. I won't fall behind you. Ruixi smiled. He didn't care about the resources, but it would be awkward if he didn't get a share. Soon, the resources were transferred to their storage rings. Everyone, I'll make a statement here. I won't let go of my responsibility next time. Ruesi looked at Night Sorrow and the others seriously. Yes, it's good that you have this attitude. We're trying to change the culture of the celestial realm. If the humans are better internally, then they'll have more fighting power. Pu Luo looked at Ruesi and said. Ruesi nodded. He trusted Pu Luo the most. Night Sorrow, what do you think about Fentian? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow. Fentian is very straightforward. There's no evil in his eyes, but I don't know much about other things. Night Sorrow said. Great Demon King, what do you think? Pu Luo looked at the Great Demon King. I think it's okay. It'll hurt his face to reject him directly. Besides, there are a lot of scums in the divine capital. It's the same in other cities. Looking at the big picture, the humans need to punish those who say good things. It's okay to have more people. We can divide the work differently in the future so that people like Ruesi can't get it. The Great Demon King said. I think what the Great Demon King said makes sense. Besides, I'm sure that Fentian isn't an evil person. Night Sorrow said. How can you be sure? Yu Zhu looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'll be disgusted if people with bad morals get close to me. If they're despicable, I might want to kill them. Night Sorrow said. At Yowu Mountain, Fentian was reporting to King Yowu about Night Sorrow. He already knew about Lu Donghui's incident. You think he's not bad? King Yowu asked. Master, he's not bad. He's young and full of heroic spirit. Moreover, he has the aura of a leader. He's the core of a team of 5 emperors including Pu Luo, Fentian said. It seems like your master's junior was right. King Yowu nodded. Chapter 1770. That's normal. You know that he's your martial uncle's disciple, but he doesn't know your identity. How could he exchange insights with you? I'll talk to him after a while. A smile appeared on King Yowu's face. He was also gratified. The unparalleled Sword Emperor had never taken in a disciple in his life. It was a good thing that someone had accepted the inheritance. He knew what level the unparalleled Sword Emperor had reached in the past. Disciple understands. Fentian nodded. He's your junior brother. You can get closer to him. There can only be one Merit Emperor in a reincarnation, and he's the only one in this reincarnation. In this regard, so what if he's an almighty human? Even the cultivators of the tribulation of the 7 emperors can't compare to him, not to mention that he still has the human emperor's seal. Those who gather around him will all have luck on their bodies. King Yowu said. Disciple understands what master means. Fentian understood what King Yowu meant. He hoped that he could get closer to Night Sorrow. Alright, go. I have something to do recently. I'll go see him later. King Yowu instructed Fentian. Fentian left. He understood a little more, so he needed to digest it. Pu Luo began to refine the brick again. He hoped that this golden brick could bring out a new atmosphere and civilization of the human clan, so he was especially serious and pious. After refining it, he manually engraved the Tao Te Ching. Actually, Pu Luo could have refined the Tao Te Ching on the golden brick when he was refining it, but he did not do so. After Pu Luo finished refining the brick, the few of them moved again. They also slapped the seal that had run to the divine capital. What made everyone's eyes pop out was that Ruesi had changed his strategy. With so many people, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to snatch it, so he directly threw the golden brick out. The brick even had the tendons of a demon beast on it, turning it into a flying brick. The seal was more unlucky because it was Ruesi's first time throwing a brick. He did not control his strength well. When he was knocked unconscious by the Great Demon King's brick and had no defensive ability, Ruesi's brick directly smashed his head open and smashed it. With his head smashed, the seal could still escape with his divine infant. This clone had fallen. The Great Demon King, Pu Luo, Night Sorrow and the others dodged quickly. Otherwise, the red and white splashed all over their bodies. Do you know how to play? You won't get any of the resources this time. Without waiting for the Demon King and Night Sorrow to speak, Pu Luo roared. His full strength was not enough to smash the brick, and he had to retreat quickly. I'll just smash you to death with a brick. When have we ever injected energy into someone? The Great Demon King roared at Reese. They packed up their spoils of war and returned to Night Sorrow's mansion. Night Sorrow, aren't you going to say something? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow. Reese made a mistake this time, so don't blame him. However, we're doing this to establish a culture and to save people. There's no need to kill people, nor is it appropriate, Night Sorrow said. It's my fault this time. I was too excited. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to hit it, so I poured my energy into it, Ruiz said. Let's not talk about it this time, Night Sorrow said. You missed and killed him? At this time, Fentian appeared in the Night Moon Villa. I did miss, but I don't need you to laugh at me. Reese's anger rose. He was already a little annoyed, so when he heard Fentian's words, he was a little angry. Why are you so angry? Just don't miss next time. Fentian found a seat and sat down. Reese, it's nothing. That Ban is not a good person. So what if he's dead? It's just a clone anyway, Night Sorrow said to Reese. Reese nodded at Night Sorrow. He did feel a little guilty. We can't be too hasty. We have to slow down the pace. This way we can pressure people with bad morals to change themselves. If we can influence their behavior, our goal will be achieved. Also, I need time to cultivate, Night Sorrow said. That's right. If the culture is established, it will be a great service to the human race. If we really want to smash them one by one, we won't be able to do it. Puluo supported Night Sorrow's opinion. Where's my guy? Fentian looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow took out the brick refined by Puluo and threw it to Fentian. He had already helped to inject the human emperor chi into it. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow went to a pavilion and began to study artifact refining. He wanted to change the time acceleration of the 8-Dragon Cauldron. After Night Sorrow's spacetime attribute entered the 2-star Emperor realm, his understanding of spacetime deepened, so he was able to evolve the 8-Dragon Cauldron again. It took Night Sorrow 6 days to complete the evolution of the array inside the 8-Dragon Cauldron, and the time acceleration reached 24 times. While drinking tea, Puluo asked about Night Sorrow's refining situation. Night Sorrow didn't hide anything and told him about the situation of the 8-Dragon Cauldron. Very good. Your level is considered to be in the upper echelons of the Monarch-level Royal Masters. You're already close to the Emperor-level Royal Masters. The spatial magic treasure refined by Emperor-level Royal Masters is only 30 or so times, not 40 times. Puluo said. He was an Emperor-level Royal Master. The team's bricks were refined by him. Then won't you help Night Sorrow refine it? Yuju said. I really can't do that. His thing has an artifact spirit. Only the master can refine it while communicating with the artifact spirit. If I refine it, I can increase the time acceleration, but it will hurt the artifact spirit. That's not worth it, Puluo said. So that's how it is. 20 times is a bit too little, Yuju said. My true body has a high-grade time acceleration magic treasure. My doppelganger has over 20 times the speed. That should be enough. My cauldron is right here. While I'm inside, if there's any movement, you can shake the cauldron and I'll come out. Let's start the auction together. Night Sorrow placed the 8-Dragon Cauldron outside the building. Night Sorrow planned to raise his main body's level and his clone's combat power. He planned to find time to study the spear manual given to him by the Grand Elder. As for Yen Wushuang's inheritance, he planned to put it aside for now. Once his spear level was high enough, it would be much easier to learn other techniques. Okay, you're different from us. Our room for improvement is limited, but you're in a period of rapid improvement. Puluo nodded. That's you guys. I'm using the Ash God Stone to cultivate. My level and strength have a lot of room for improvement, the Great Demon King said. Forever Too Free reading One Little N says be you're awesome. Go for the Emperor's trial, go for the Emperor's trial, Yuju said. I will. Don't worry. Don't be jealous when the time comes. The Great Demon King laughed. The Emperor's trial and Emperor's trial came according to time. If one's strength and level were high enough, the heavenly trial would also come. If one's strength exceeded that of the 9 Emperor's trial, then the God-destroying trial that Yen Wushuang went through would come. Chapter 1771. 4y6g equals head, d hair, g so that's how it is. I thought I wouldn't be able to reach that level if I wasn't old enough. So it's possible. Night Sorrow said. The tribulation of the Emperor realm is terrifying. The probability of death is 80 to 90%. That's why almost no one initiates the tribulation. Let's put it this way, Sect Elder Lin and Great Demon King can trigger the tribulation with all their strength. But there's no need for that. They're still young and have enough time to accumulate. I can trigger the tribulation too. I can even trigger the Emperor tribulation. But I can still accumulate. So I won't trigger it. Puluo explained to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow nodded to Puluo. He felt that after getting to know Puluo and Great Demon King, he had gained a lot of insight. When things are more or less settled, I'll try to trigger the Emperor Tribulation. Lin Piaomiao said. You're already at this level? Ruisi looked at Lin Piaomiao and Great Demon King in surprise. Sect Elder Lin, Great Demon King, don't let loyalty get the better of you. That Wu Dongtian was so talented. Why did he fall? It's already impressive that he passed the 5 heavenly tribulations in one go. He could have slowly accumulated his strength. But he insisted on charging forward. In the end he fell under the tribulation. Pu Luo said. Pu Luo, do you know that Commander Lin and I are obviously stronger than those sect elders? But we still have to listen to their orders. What? Because we haven't passed the Emperor Tribulation. We lack experience. Last time we knew that our strategy was wrong. But we still charged forward. We had to carry out the sect elders' orders. All these years we've been holding back. Great Demon King said. Yes. If you want to contribute to the human race, you have to have the right status. I've been thinking the same thing all these years. Actually, I'm already confident about the 9 heavenly tribulations. I just haven't tried. Lin Piaomiao looked at Great Demon King. His words made her feel the same way. You too are personally recommended by the City Lord. You're also valued by the Grand Elder. Don't mess around. Pu Luo said to Lin Piaomiao and Great Demon King. I won't. Although I'm confident, I still want to wait. I want to see Night Sorrow. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. We'll talk about it later. Night Sorrow understood what Lin Piaomiao meant. Everyone chatted for a while and then dispersed. Everyone had their own loft in the Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were in a loft. The two of them brewed a pot of tea and sat opposite each other. Big Sister Xianhe, don't rashly trigger the heavenly tribulation. Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. In the past, I had already grasped it and planned to steadily break through, but you appeared and I had room for improvement and even obtained the heavenly blue wings. After obtaining the heavenly blue wings, I planned to familiarize myself with it before triggering the heavenly tribulation. However, my Tao heart began to waver. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and said, Then find a suitable time to inform my parents and inform my friends and family. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and said, There were some things that he didn't say but he understood. You've decided to marry me? Lin Piaomiao's emotions began to fluctuate. Night Sorrow nodded seriously. He knew that this matter was very important to Lin Piaomiao. Okay. If I succeed, I will definitely marry you. Lin Piaomiao's face shone brightly. What? Night Sorrow didn't understand. You just said that you want to marry me. I have the Tao heart, but marrying you is only suitable after the heavenly tribulation. If we aren't fated enough and fail the heavenly tribulation after we get married, that would be harming you. Lin Piaomiao said. The light on her face was the light of her Tao heart. No need. You are the peerless empress of the celestial realm. You can definitely do what you want. Tomorrow we will return to the 9 regions world. Night Sorrow shook his head and made his decision. What are you doing? Why are you in such a hurry? To an emperor realm cultivator, thousands of years are just a matter of an instant. There are some who can meditate for tens of thousands of years or even millions of years. You should cultivate first. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and smiled. The light on her face grew brighter and brighter. Then can you promise me that you won't attempt the heavenly tribulation? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and said. Okay, I promise you. Lin Piaomiao smiled and said. Nodding to Lin Piaomiao, Night Sorrow took out the Grand Elder's Spear Art book and started to study it. Spear, the king of weapons. The user must have the aura of a king. This was the general principle of spear arts. Grand Elder's Spear Art was the mixed element spear art. The foundation of spear arts was the basic spear art. When the basic spear art was cultivated to perfection, it could drive energy, the will of heaven and earth and the power of the heavenly Tao. When the basic spear art was cultivated to perfection, it could merge with one's will and domain. At that time, every move and style would have boundless power. After studying the spear art, Night Sorrow held the blood Qilin evil slaying spear and started to cultivate his spear art. Stab, chop, lift and slash were all basic techniques. In the past, Night Sorrow had the habit of cultivating the basic spear art every day. Therefore, the foundation of the basic spear art was very deep. Every move and style of the basic spear art was connected very skillfully. His goal was to cultivate the basic spear art to the point where there was no distinction between moves. After cultivating for 2 hours, Night Sorrow returned to the loft. Night Sorrow, what are you cultivating? The basic spear art? Lin Piaomiao, who was puzzled, asked. Yes, it is the foundation of the Grand Elder's mixed element spear art. The concept is very good. I have never thought of it before. Night Sorrow said. No wonder when you were cultivating just now I felt a familiar feeling. There was a shadow of the battle between the Grand Elder and the Demon-Winged clan. You are cultivating the Grand Elder's spear art? Lin Piaomiao suddenly realized and looked at Night Sorrow in astonishment. Yes, before coming to Sky City I went to see the 7th Elder. The Grand Elder gave me his spear art book. Night Sorrow nodded. This is too rare. You must know that after several eras the Grand Elder has never accepted a disciple. No one could inherit his spear art. I didn't expect him to pass it on to you. It's no wonder. You are a spear artist and have a high aptitude. The Grand Elder cherishes talent, so he made this decision. Lin Piaomiao said. I know a little about the mixed element spear art, but I still need time to master it. Night Sorrow said. How is your original body? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I am in a state of epiphany. The effects of the Destruction Origin Stone and Ash Divine Stone are very strong. The will of heaven and earth is very strong. After awakening, the destruction attribute should be able to enter the 2-star Emperor realm. The other attributes are also rapidly advancing. Sister Xian'er, you have the Void attribute. The Great Demon King gave me 2 Void Origin Stones. Use them first. Night Sorrow took out the Void Origin Stones from his storage ring. This was given to him by the Great Demon King after he came from the Ethereal Dynasty. Therefore it had always been in the storage ring of his clone. No need. I have used many Void Origin Stones. There will be no effect if I use more. You are different. If you use them your realm will rise faster. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. Sister Xian'er, what is the matter with the 100 Race Alliance's first vanguard? The Grand Elder asked me to return to Tianhuang City in 5 years to participate in the selection of the 100 Race Alliance's first vanguard. Night Sorrow said. Chapter 1772. Hair, what opportunity? Night Sorrow asked. The opportunity to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower. Only the first vanguard and first commander of the 100 Races Alliance have the qualification. However, after entering, everyone's opportunity is different, Lin Piaomiao said. What's the Heaven Wasteland Tower? Night Sorrow did not quite understand. It's the first tower in the Heaven Wasteland City. I don't know the details. Anyway, if you can get this opportunity, you should ask Pu Luo for the details. He definitely knows more than me, Lin Piaomiao said. After chatting with Lin Piaomiao for a while, Night Sorrow entered the 8-Dragon Cauldron to practice his spear. If a cultivator wanted to achieve something, talent, hard work, and time were all inseparable. Night Sorrow wanted to cultivate the Grand Elder's Mixed Yuan spear art. First, he had to cultivate the basic spear art to the Mixed Yuan Heavenly Realm before he was qualified to proceed to the next step. Night Sorrow went to cultivate while Pu Luo and the others continued to perfect the information and collect information on the scums. Rui Si divided the scums into different levels. One was to kill and the other was to educate. Fen Tian would come to Night Moon Villa every day. He had the Divine Capital City guards under his command, so naturally he had scouts and intelligence personnel. Therefore it was not a problem for him to help Rui Si organize the information. What made him puzzled was that he had not seen Night Sorrow. After asking, he found out that Night Sorrow had already started cultivating. Fen Tian had King Yewu's spear art book. If possible, he did not mind communicating with Night Sorrow. It was not a problem for him to give some advice to Night Sorrow. However, he could not see Night Sorrow at the moment. As for the inheritance sword art of the unparalleled Sword Emperor, Yan Wushuang, Fen Tian was looking forward to it. However, he did not force it. He also understood that without King Yewu, Night Sorrow would not tell him anything. Night Sorrow had more than one doppelganger cultivating inside the 8-Dragon Cauldron. His doppelganger in 9-Domain World had also begun cultivating his spear techniques. Even the Clear Sky Pagoda's secondary body, which was originally in Sky City, had been sent to the vicinity of the Heaven Sealing Temple for the sake of accelerating time. The Medicine Valley had been affected recently because the divine artifact, the 8-Dragon Cauldron, had undergone some changes. This was the strongest change the 8-Dragon Cauldron had undergone in recent years. The light completely enveloped Danding Cliff. Danding Cliff was no longer the Danding Cliff of the past. Under the influence of the 8-Dragon Cauldron, Danding Cliff continued to rise. Now its peak was in the clouds. In the past, Venerables were not allowed to climb Pill Tripod Cliff as they would be directly suppressed by the 8-Dragon Tripod. Following the evolution of the 8-Dragon Tripod, the rules had changed. Saints, Saint Kings, and even the king could cultivate at Danding Cliff, but they could not climb to the top of Danding Cliff and get close to the region where the eight-dragon cauldron was. Everyone could cultivate by relying on the pressure. This was the power of an emperor weapon. The Medicine Valley was the #1 sect in the 9 domains world, and the eight-dragon cauldron was a legend. Some people said that the eight-dragon cauldron would kill anyone who dared to come to the Medicine Valley with killing intent, even the king. Nangong Dai, Ning Cheng, and Su Feng stood at the bottom of Danding Cliff and looked up at Danding Peak. Is this still the eight-dragon cauldron of the past? Nangong Dai's eyes were a little confused and puzzled. She was ranked first in the batch of 13 people who had entered the sect, but she had not seen Night Sorrow for many years. Eldest senior sister, Grand Exalted Knight has become an emperor. He is an armorer himself, so naturally his protective treasures would continue to evolve. The eight-dragon cauldron of the past was only a spirit artifact. Treasures of this level are everywhere in the 9 domains world. The only difference is that the eight-dragon cauldron is in Grand Exalted Knight's hands, Ning Cheng said. Second Ning, what is he doing now? Is he still working hard on his cultivation? Nangong Dai turned to look at Ning Cheng. Back then Ning Cheng was ranked second. Although we can't see his hard work, we can imagine it. Lin Jingyi came to Danding Cliff. She was a frequent visitor there and spent half a year cultivating there. She could even be said to be the strongest person in the Medicine Valley of the 9 domains world. Uncle Master, didn't you go to the Celestial Realm to see how Grand Exalted Knight is doing? Su Feng asked. Is there a need to go? I reckon he is already famous in the Celestial Realm. We don't understand his world. Lin Jingyi shook her head. Dai Ning Cheng, don't doubt his hard work. The 9 domains world is where it is today because of his hard work and struggle. Gong Xian appeared, along with Huanan and the others. The evolution of the eight-dragon cauldron had caused a commotion in the Medicine Valley, so everyone who had been in seclusion came out. Master, if you have time, take us to see Grand Exalted Knight. Doesn't he have a clone in the 9 domains world? Nangong Dai looked at her master, Huanan. It's not just us. Even the Yi family doesn't see him much. He spends most of his time in seclusion. Perhaps he will only stop when he is invincible, Huanan said. Isn't Grand Exalted Knight already invincible? Why is he working so hard? Su Feng didn't understand. You know nothing. You know about the Chaos Realm, but what about the Celestial Realm? There are many emperors and emperors. Without strength, how can the Chaos Realm and the 9 domains world be stable? Shi Tianlin scolded. Su Feng didn't dare to say anything. He was an elder of the Taishan Peak in the Medicine Valley, but the 13 people from the Taishan Peak in the Medicine Valley were still alive. Every one of them could scold him at will. Eldest senior brother, more and more people from other worlds in the Chaos Realm are coming to the 9 domains world to develop. Many people want to enter the Medicine Valley. Do we accept them? Chu Lingxiao, who had rushed over and stood for a while, asked. At present, he was more in charge of the Medicine Valley's affairs. We have to keep up with the situation. 13 is the domain lord of the 9 domains world. The Medicine Valley can't exclude him. However, there are too many people who want to enter the sect every year. In the future, the disciple recruitment ceremony will be extended to once every 10 years. In addition, the eight-dragon cauldron is getting stronger and can help more people cultivate. We will open up the qualifications and double the quota for the Saint Hall. Gong Xian made some decisions. Eldest senior brother, let's go to the city in the sky. 13 might be there. I miss him, Shi Tianlin said. Then let's go and take a look. Gong Xian nodded with a smile. This was what he was most gratified about. No matter how much time had passed, the relationship between his 12 junior brothers and sisters remained the same. When they arrived at the city in the sky, they naturally couldn't see Night Sorrow. At this time, Night Sorrow was working hard to cultivate his spear technique. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye 2 years had passed. Other than the brick-throwing operation, Night Sorrow had been cultivating his spear technique. The mixed element spear technique had gradually taken shape. In the space treasure, the power of his spear technique was average. However, when he displayed it in the real world, even the basic spear technique could drive the laws of heaven and earth, the will of heaven and earth, and the momentum of heaven and earth. Night Sorrow's original body was still meditating. This was already the 3rd year of meditation. Night Sorrow felt that his original body was about to wake up, but he couldn't predict what realm he would be in when he woke up. When Night Sorrow put away his spear, the great demon king came to Night Sorrow's side. Night Sorrow, do you have any good wine? Prepare a jar. If I don't die, you have to celebrate for me. You? Night Sorrow's eyes were full of shock. Chapter 1773. Have you decided? Night Sorrow asked the great demon king. I've decided. If I want to be lawless, if I want to have a complete self, if I want to do what I want without others telling me what to do, then the heavenly tribulation must be triggered. The great demon king's eyes were filled with determination. Then I'll be waiting to celebrate with you. Night Sorrow took out a few jars of wine and placed them on the table in front of him. I'm also waiting to celebrate with you. Lin Piao appeared as well. Alright, I'll feel the way first. Then I'll tell you what I feel, the great demon king said to Lin Piao. As a cultivator on the god demon list, the big demon king admired Lin Piao. It wasn't easy for a woman to reach such heights. Pu Luo and the others had arrived, and so had Fan Tian. Since you're all here, just you wait. Fan Tian, you can be considered the host. Prepare a banquet. After the great demon king finished speaking, he left. His true body was going through tribulation, so his clone could not be disturbed. It was most suitable for him to meditate inside a spatial magic treasure. That bastard is too competitive. After this heavenly tribulation, none of the human elders will waste their breath on him again. Pu Luo said. He and the great demon king had never been friends before, but they had fought together. He admired the great demon king very much. You didn't say anything to him? Reese looked at Pu Luo. Most, new G chapter F super P equals, shut up, who am I talking nonsense with? It's true that I'm the law-enforcing elder, but what have I ever done? If you have the time, why don't you take a nap and do something else? Do your own thing and don't ask about other people's rights and wrongs. That's my principle. Of course, smashing bricks now is not bad. Pu Luo glared at Reese. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piao and grabbed her hand. He knew that Lin Piao was feeling emotional right now because she missed him too. If there was no news, everyone would just wait because the tribulation wasn't something that could be done in a short period of time. No news was the best news. If the great demon king didn't come out, no one would know what was going on. 1 day, 2 days, half a month passed. Everyone was extremely worried. On the 18th day, the great demon king finally appeared. His condition wasn't very good, but his eyes were full of vigor. Congratulations. Night Sorrow and the others stood up. Pu Luo, who is that person you mentioned the other day? That's right, that Wu Dongtian is awesome. He passed 5 heavenly tribulations in one go, but I, the great demon king, passed 6 heavenly tribulations in one go today. Originally, I could still continue, but I don't think it's necessary to risk my life. If I don't improve when there's room for improvement, then I'm a fool. The great demon king laughed loudly. Are you crazy? Pu Luo cursed because no one had ever done such a thing before. Wu Dongtian was the only one who had died. Don't talk about anything else. Fan Tian, what kind of banquet is this? Can this be eaten? The great demon king pointed at the table in front of them. You prepared it 3 days after you went into seclusion. Today is the 18th day. Have you ever seen a banquet that can last for half a month? Fan Tian said somewhat angrily. That's true. It's not your fault. Hurry up and change. The great demon king found a seat and sat down. Night Sorrow smiled and called for the servants to go to the banquet. He opened a jar of wine. Night Sorrow, the ash god stone is really good stuff. I'm indebted to you this time, so I owe you a favor. Within 100 years, I'll definitely reach the Emperor Tribulation. The great demon king said to Night Sorrow. You're crazy. Yuzhu said. If you don't go crazy, you won't live. If you live, you have to live with vigor. The great demon king punched the air. Everyone was happy for the great demon king. They had been friends for a few years. Commander Lin, don't be like this guy. He's crazy, but you're not. Pu Luo looked at Lin Piao and said. Actually, I don't think there's a problem with Commander Lin. Because of your foundation, whether it's void or destruction, it suppresses other elements. I suggest you give it a try, but don't force it. The 4th and 5th tribulations aren't difficult, but the 6th tribulations are terrifying. That's why I didn't touch the 7th tribulations. The great demon king said to Lin Piao. Thank you for your advice. I'm really happy for you. Lin Piao poured a cup of wine for the great demon king. Everyone was happy. They drank for the whole night before the banquet ended. Night Sorrow continued to practice his spear every day. His mixed element spear art had a solid foundation. When he waved his blood-chilling evil-slaying spear, he could move the will of heaven and earth. On this day, Night Sorrow was called over by Pu Luo to discuss the plan. However, Night Sorrow wasn't too happy to see the great demon king. Just as Night Sorrow was about to ask, Lu Qi came. The great demon king turned his head to the side. What's wrong? Your main body is hiding, but your doppelganger isn't going to see anyone? Lu Chi smiled and sat down. Elder 7, what happened? Knight Sorrow asked. He went to fight with Elder Yukuin. Won't it be over if he won? He just had to fight to the death. Then the Grand Elder yelled at him. Lu Chi said with a smile. He made a mistake in his battle strategy last time. I already said no, but he used his identity as the Elder. What happened in the end? If it weren't for Pu Luo's timely help, Commander Lin and I would have been dead. Ask Commander Lin if it's true? Just say that it was a mistake and it's over? Who will take responsibility for the deaths of my subordinates? The great Demon King slammed the table and roared. This was a mistake in his battle strategy. He didn't do it on purpose. You didn't mention it for so many years. So you've been holding it in all this time? Lu Chi said to the great Demon King. That's right. My subordinates can't die in vain. The main culprit is the Demon Wing clan, and the second is that old bastard Yukuin. This time the Grand Elder protected him. Otherwise I would have killed him. And that heaven's fate. He abandoned me and Commander Lin last time. I'll kill him too. The great Demon King cursed. Hearing the great Demon King's curses, Knight Sorrow had a rough idea of what had happened. The great Demon King must have been tricked during a war. He hadn't acted up all these years, but now he acted up. However, it seemed like he didn't succeed. Great Demon King, I promise to give you an explanation. However, I need time. Is that okay? Don't say anything about leaving Tianhuang City? Lu Chi asked the great Demon King. Great Demon King, the 7 sect elders have already said so. Please calm down. No matter what others do, the Grand Elder and the 7 sect elders have always worked hard for the human race. We have to give them face. Pu Luo persuaded the great Demon King. All right. Since the 7 sect elders have said so, I won't leave Tianhuang City. The great Demon King turned his head and said. Lu Chi chuckled. You didn't even say anything about transcending the Emperor Tribulation. If you didn't go and slash people, no one would know. Let me congratulate you. It's just passing the 6 heavenly tribulations. It's no big deal. The great Demon King sat up straight. Chapter 1774. Ah, you have the right to show off. You do have the right. When I get back, I'll leave a good mark on the ancestral records for you. Lu Chi said. Thank you. The great Demon King clasped his fists at Lu Chi, but he turned his head to the other side. In Lu Chi's words, he did have the right to show off. After Lu Chi left, everyone sat together. The great Demon King told everyone in detail what had happened. After transcending the tribulation, the great Devil King stabilized his cultivation base and returned to Heavenly Desolation City. Back in Heavenly Desolation City, he killed his way to Heavenly Desolation Elder Yukuin's residence and started fighting in the tower. Later on, when he had injured Yukuin and was about to kill him, the great elder appeared and stopped him. Lin Piaomiao, why aren't you saying anything? I wasn't the only one who was scammed back then, right? The great Demon King looked at Lin Piaomiao. I thought you were the first to take care of Heaven's fate. But you were the first to take care of Yukuin as well. What should I say? Lin Piaomiao said. You remember it too? The great Demon King looked at Lin Piaomiao in surprise. Of course. Back then, my Misty Dynasty lost half an army. Lin Piaomiao nodded. Great Demon King, you can do it. Yukuin's strength is only lower than the 7th Elder. If you can kill him, no one will dare to mess with you in the future. Pu Luo said. Great Demon King, why didn't you say we were going to take care of Yukuin when we were at Tianhuang City? Knight Sorrow asked, puzzled. Didn't you hear what Pu Luo said? That guy's strength is only lower than the Grand Elder and the 7th Elder. He's not someone that trash Li Zongyuan can compare to. If we were to take care of him, there's no chance of success. The great Demon King said. But that's a good thing. You can only prove your strength with a battle. If you follow the Grand Elder, no one will gossip. Pu Luo said. Pu Luo, you know a lot of things. Why would you ask me to follow the Grand Elder? The great Demon King asked. Because the Grand Elder and the 7 Patriarchs are going to continue to break through the Emperor's tribulation. They need to make some arrangements. You and Commander Lin have the best potential and qualifications. You're a man, so you can take on more responsibilities. That's why you should follow the Grand Elder. This is also the City Lord's intention, said Pu Luo. The great Demon King understood because the Grand Elder and the 7 Elders were preparing for the unexpected. After chatting for a while, everyone set off to continue their trip. After smashing the black brick once, Knight Sorrow entered the 8-Dragon Cauldron and continued to cultivate his spear arts. At this time he was fusing the profound meaning of his previous spear arts into his heart's spear arts. Every move he made was an absolute art. At this moment, a glass pagoda appeared beside Night Sorrow's 8-dragon cauldron. That was Lin Piaomiao's spatial treasure. *S**. After cultivating for a few days, Night Sorrow saw the glass pagoda when he came out of seclusion. Instantly, his eyes were filled with shock and worry. He understood what was going on. Pu Luo and the others were also drinking tea and waiting in the loft where he was resting. How long has this been here? Night Sorrow pointed at the glass pagoda. Half a month. Pu Luo could see the worry in Night Sorrow's eyes. This situation was because Lin Piaomiao's doppelganger had entered the spatial treasure while the original body went through the tribulation. The doppelganger couldn't be affected. As for the safety of the doppelganger, Lin Piaomiao trusted this small group of people just like the Great Demon King. Half a month. Why is it so long? Night Sorrow was a little anxious because the Great Demon King had only been here for half a month. This woman must be crazily trying to break through. I think the 6th tribulation should be fine. But the 7th tribulation shouldn't be a problem. If she encounters the 7th tribulation, she'll be in danger, said the Great Demon King. After waiting for another 2 days, Lin Piaomiao appeared. However, she wasn't as tired as the Great Demon King. Your condition is not bad. The Great Demon King sized up Lin Piaomiao and said, after the tribulation, my condition isn't as good as yours. But I've recovered for close to a month in the time acceleration treasure. Lin Piaomiao smiled. 6th tribulation as well? Pu Luo asked. Lin Piaomiao nodded. After the 6th tribulation she was in a bad condition. She had a feeling that she wouldn't be able to pass the 7th tribulation. And she stopped. You guys are not giving the other people on the God and Demon leaderboard a chance to make a comeback. You guys are suppressing them. Pu Luo said. Great Demon King, after the tribulation, my condition isn't as good as yours. The number 1 spot on the God and Demon leaderboard is yours. Lin Piaomiao said. What do you mean by that? If it was in the past, I would have challenged you to a battle to see who's number 1. But now can I? No matter what, if I want to try, they'll probably fall out with me. Forget it. The Great Demon King said. Sister Xian'er, have you forgotten? You promised me. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. There was dissatisfaction in his tone, but his eyes were filled with joy. I hope that after I succeed I'll feel at ease. Then we can talk about our matters. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow apologetically. What's the matter between you two? Yu Zhu asked with a smile. Night Sorrow said he wants to marry me. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and repeated Night Sorrow's words. What are you talking about? Are you talking about him marrying you? That's not up to you. You have to marry him. Yu Zhu looked at Lin Piaomiao with a smile. She wanted to see how Lin Piaomiao would respond. Why not? Lin Piaomiao asked back. Just as everyone was waiting for Night Sorrow to express his opinion, the aura on Night Sorrow's body changed. The gray energy around him rumbled. Then it changed to purple energy. Then it changed to black energy. Withdraw. Night Sorrow said softly. Following Night Sorrow's words, the leakless true body activated. His aura stabilized. 3-star Emperor. Night Sorrow's spacetime attribute had entered the level of a 3-star Emperor. He hadn't even entered the level of a new 3-star Emperor. His control of the momentum of heaven and earth was at 36%. He had reached the middle stage of a 3-star Emperor. His void attribute was at 27%. He had reached the late stage of a 2-star Emperor. The destruction attribute was the fastest to cultivate. Now it was at 25%. He was at the middle stage of a 2-star Emperor. The leakless true body activated. All of Night Sorrow's aura was absorbed into his body. Night Sorrow, you're too fast. It's only been 2 years and you've already improved. Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and said. They're all undergoing their tribulations. I've only improved by a small step. Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was quite satisfied with his improvement. Sister Xian'er, my main body is stabilizing his realm. When my main body comes out, I'll go and ask for your hand in marriage. Night Sorrow said. There's no rush. You have to stabilize your realm first. Lin Piaomiao was very happy. Not only did she have new achievements, but Night Sorrow's improvement was also worth celebrating. Night Sorrow, you have to hurry. In less than 3 years, the competition for the number 1 vanguard of the 100 Race Alliance will begin. That's a great opportunity. 2 years ago you could fight against an emperor. If you improve a little more, you'll have a great chance of becoming the number 1 vanguard. Pu Luo said. Puluo, can you tell me what kind of opportunity it is? Night Sorrow looked at Puluo and asked. He had wanted to ask Puluo this question for a long time. He wanted to know what it was like to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower and what benefits there were. Chapter 1775. Everyone has different opportunities after entering the pagoda. Some have increased their internal strength, some have obtained treasures, weapons and armors, and some have obtained inheritances. However, they all have one thing in common. They all have luck on their bodies. Puluo explained to Night Sorrow when he saw that the Great Demon King and Lin Kuang did not speak. 3 years. I have 3 years. Looks like I have to work harder. Night Sorrow said. When you just entered the 2-star Emperor realm, you already defeated 5 demon-winged emperors. Now that you are already a middle 3-star emperor, are you still afraid of other emperors? The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said, Not bad. I have never seen an emperor like you. If you want to participate, you have a high chance of getting the first vanguard. Ruisi said. Well, looks like no one can explain the situation of the Heaven Wasteland Pagoda. Then I have to work hard. If there is a chance, it will be best. Night Sorrow said. It's not about working hard. Now, as the law enforcement elder of the human clan, I am telling you that you must get the first vanguard. This is very important to the human clan. Puluo looked at Night Sorrow with a solemn expression. Okay. Looking at Puluo, who was serious for once, Night Sorrow nodded. Okay, let's celebrate. Commander Lin has also broken through the 6 tribulations of the Heavenly Tao. This is great. Puluo said with a smile. You are all awesome. Fentian, who had been silent all this time, said. He was also a member of the Divine Demon list and was ranked behind Lin Piaomiao and the Great Demon King. Now he knew that there was a gap between them. Don't worry, Fentian. Passing the Emperor Tribulation is not a joke. If you can suppress it, you will definitely not trigger it. The two of them are crazy. Puluo looked at Fentian and said. He did not want Fentian to act recklessly. They were the future elites of the human clan. The original 4 edition premiere. Everyone ate happily during the banquet. Then Night Sorrow went to cultivate his spear arts. Night Sorrow's original body had advanced, but his cultivation did not fall behind. Because the Clear Sky Pagoda was rich in spirit energy and resources, his energy cultivation followed suit. With his cultivation and realm, Night Sorrow wanted to increase the power of his spear arts. He already had the foundation of the primeval spear art. He had already cultivated the foundation of the primeval spear art to the point of mastery and perfection. Now what he needed to do was to cultivate the true primeval spear art. He needed to integrate the elemental laws, will, and the momentum of heaven and earth into it. The Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao both stabilized their realms and raised their combat strength. Realms alone weren't enough. They had to match it or even surpass their realms. Only then could they be considered exceptional cultivators. Puluo, Ruiz, and Yuzhu were drinking tea together. Puluo, these guys are a little crazy. They're making my blood boil. I can't wait to break through the Emperor's tribulation, Ruisi said. Why are you in such a hurry? Every era had a favored child of the Heavenly Tao. Their strength was not proportional to their ranks. When Commander Lin and the Great Demon King were not undergoing their monarch tribulations, which clan elder dared to fight with them? You've passed the Emperor's tribulation, but your actual combat strength is still far from theirs, Puluo said. Yeah, we have to work hard. We're a small team. We can't fall too far behind, Yuzhu said. We're lucky to have met Night Sorrow. I pulled you guys into this small team because I'm a little selfish. I hope that everyone can get along well so that you can gain some luck, Puluo said. Puluo, we understand. We know how much you've taken care of us over the years. Thank you. Ruisi nodded to Puluo. Yuzhu did the same. They had been following Puluo for a long time. Puluo had taken good care of them. It's boring to be so polite with me. The main thing is that you two have strong characters. Without strong characters and morals, you won't be able to survive in this small team, Puluo explained. Then the Great Demon King is fine too? Ruisi asked in surprise. The Great Demon King is crazy, but he does things according to his heart. Whether it's Heaven's Fate or Guizhou, they all deserve to be killed. His morals are not bad. In fact, they're very righteous. Puluo smiled. He knew that Ruisi wasn't the only one who thought so. Many people would think so as well. The main thing was that they didn't see the essence of it. Night Sorrow was cultivating his spear skills every day. He took some time to go back to Ethereal City and gave his main body 2 Void Origin Stones. His main body's realm was the key. His spacetime attribute had already entered the 3-star Emperor realm. His Void and Destruction attributes hadn't caught up yet. However, his Destruction attribute had the help of the Destruction Origin Stone and Ash Divine Stone. Now he needed to lay the foundation for his Void attribute. The brick-throwing activity was still going on. Fentian, who had a strong murderous aura and was relatively strong, joined in. The brick-throwing was going smoothly. Ruisi's brick-throwing was also well-trained. Ruisi, the brick-throwing is about the process. It's about the pleasure of the brick-throwing moment. Can you feel it when you throw a brick? Next time I'll give you a chance. Hit your target's face hard. Puluo, Commander Lin, let's slow down. It's not easy for Ruisi, the Great Demon King said to Ruisi's unhappy face after finishing another round. Really? Ruisi asked excitedly. I'm fine with it. Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. She hoped that this small team would be harmonious and last for a long time. Therefore, she didn't mind taking care of Ruisi and Yu Zhu. As for Night Sorrow, he didn't need anyone to take care of him. Currently, Night Sorrow was the core of this small team. In addition, during each brick throwing, Night Sorrow wouldn't fall behind. His cultivation base was low, but Night Sorrow was accomplished in the spacetime domain. When he used Void Steps, his speed wasn't slow either. Oh right, Piaomiao, you and Night Sorrow's main body are cultivating. However, we can put the important matters on the agenda. Let's settle it first. When the main body comes out of seclusion, we can settle it, Yu Zhu said. Lin Piaomiao didn't say anything and didn't reply. At this time, Yu Zhu looked at Night Sorrow. At this time, it was Night Sorrow who should be speaking. I'll return to Ethereal Imperial City later. I'm going back to my hometown. You guys take a break first. Once I'm done, I'll return. Sister Xin, are you coming with me? Let's go back and settle it. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. Then I'll go back with you. Lin Piaomiao blushed. She naturally knew what Night Sorrow meant. Night Sorrow, Piaomiao, are you guys welcoming guests? I'm planning to go to Ethereal Imperial City. Yu Zhu smiled and asked. Of course. Are you guys coming? Lin Piaomiao looked at Puluo and the others. Of course. Why not? There's good food and drinks there. Puluo said. I'll go too. Night Sorrow, don't you have enemies over there? Let's get rid of them once and for all. You won't have to worry about anything. We can go brick throwing in the future. The Great Demon King was also interested. All right. When I go back this time, I'll see if I can beat those 2 guys from Celestial Sect. If I can, I'll destroy Celestial Sect. Night Sorrow spoke his mind. Chapter 1776. Initially, I wasn't in a hurry. However, the Celestial Sect has designs on the Chaos Realm. It's not right for them to keep thinking about my base. Hence, I have to get rid of them, said Night Sorrow. Alright, we'll go back and destroy them. It's simple, said Lin Piaomiao. It's simple. Why do you keep them around and let them lie beside your ethereal empire? Asked the Great Demon King. You didn't kill the Celestial Sect. If the Celestial Sect emerges, it'll naturally be his base. I'm keeping the Celestial Sect alive because I'm waiting for the Celestial Sect to emerge. However, it's been so many years and he's been hiding like a turtle. Previously, I devoured 80 million miles of the Celestial Sect's territory, but the Celestial Sect didn't react at all. I guess he doesn't care about the Celestial Sect anymore. Lin Piaomiao revealed the reason why she kept the Celestial Sect alive. You're pretty ruthless. Night Sorrow, it's not easy for you. Take it easy in the future. The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said. What he meant was that after Night Sorrow married Lin Piaomiao, his life would be too easy. Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's go. Night Sorrow said. He knew that the overlord of the celestial realm, Lin Piaomiao, wasn't a good-tempered person. However, it was enough that she was nice and gentle to him. The few of them sat on the teleportation portal and began to teleport. First, they arrived at the heavenly desolate city. Without stopping, they left on the Emperor-grade teleportation portal and teleported towards the ethereal Imperial City. It was already a day later when they arrived at the VIP tower in the ethereal Imperial City. Pu Luo, are there so few Emperor-grade teleportation portals in the celestial realm? Asked Night Sorrow. Currently, only the heavenly desolate city and the Shindu city have them. Even if there are others, they can't be connected. The heavenly desolate city and the Shindu city have Emperor-grade teleportation portals and crystals. However, where do they connect to? Asked Pu Luo. The Heavenly Desolate City and the Shindu City can't. They won't connect to us. If anyone has an Emperor-grade teleportation crystal, we'll set one ourselves and connect to it, said Night Sorrow. Do you have an Emperor-grade teleportation crystal? Asked Puluo. Looked at Night Sorrow. Yes. Night Sorrow nodded. You're good, but I'm afraid you can't connect it to the Tianhuang City. That's a war city, so it might be destroyed from the inside. But we can consider the holy capital, said Puluo. That's difficult too. The Shindu City is the #1 city in the celestial realm. It's not that easy to connect the teleportation portal, said Lin Piaomiao. When Master comes out of seclusion, I'll ask him, Fan Tian said. He knew that what he had seen during this period of time was actually King Yowu's energy body. Thank you very much, Sister Xian'er. If Senior King Yowu agrees, can Ethereal Imperial City and Sky Capital City set up an Emperor-grade teleportation array? Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Fan Tian and asked Lin Piaomiao. Sure. If it can really be connected, then the Misty Dynasty's development will be smooth. Will be a great help. Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. She knew that Night Sorrow didn't want to set up a teleportation array at Star Moon Lake because the teleportation array there was connected to the 9-domain world and the Primal Chaos world. Night Sorrow was very cautious. However, the Ethereal Imperial City was different. One could enter from anywhere. There was no need to seal it. I just don't know what Senior King Yowu thinks. It's hard to even meet him. Night Sorrow said. He already knew what level King Yowu was at. He was the true pillar of the human race. After Master comes out of seclusion, he might meet you. Don't ask me about the details. Fan Tian threw out half a sentence and stopped. Then everyone stay here first. I still have things to deal with. Night Sorrow waved his hand at the few of them and left the VIP tower. Everyone, feel free to stay here as if you're in your own territory. However, I recommend you to have a seat at the Twilight Tea House. It's a good place. I have something to do, so I'll take my leave first. Lin Piaomiao waved her hand at the few of them like Night Sorrow and also left the VIP tower. She found Night Sorrow waiting for her at the entrance of the City Lord's mansion. This pair of dogs. The Great Demon King muttered. Great Demon King, the Twilight Tea House was once an excuse for others to attack Night Sorrow. However, it was denied. We have to go and take a look. It said that Night Sorrow is the boss behind the scenes. Puluo said. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. The Great Demon King stood up. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were strolling on the streets. At this moment, Lin Piaomiao had already taken off her veil. Sister Xin, I'll go home and tell my parents about us. However, if I want to ask for your hand in marriage, where should I go? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and asked. I make my own decisions. If you're sincere, I'll agree. Lin Piaomiao smiled at Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow smiled because there was no problem. After returning to the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow, Lin Piaomiao and the other wives had a family banquet. Then they returned to the 9 Domains world. When they reached the city in the sky, the wives chatted. Night Sorrow met his parents. Then Night Sorrow told his parents about this matter. You rascal, you can't be like this in the future. Their daughters don't have it easy. Look at the situation now, you don't even have time to accompany them. Yi Wuyo looked at his son and said. Won't we have time when our son's cultivation is more or less done? Look at our Yi family now, it's flourishing. Yu Qing was very happy. What she wanted the most was to see a house full of children and grandchildren. Latest chapter Z section $0 previous chapter. Then Yi Wuyo and Yu Qing made the decision and the Yi family formally proposed marriage. The person who proposed marriage was Night Sorrow himself. As the betrothal gift, Night Sorrow took out a sword left behind by Yan Wushuang. Sister Xian'er, this is the weapon left behind by Master Wushuang. I don't practice the sword, so I didn't refine it. Night Sorrow said as he held the sword with both hands. This is something left behind by your master. I can't accept it. Lin Piaomiao rejected. Using a weapon as a betrothal gift is too fierce. It's not suitable. Yu Qing didn't like it either. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow took out a piece of Shen Ice jade and started carving in front of everyone. He used to be a carving master. Now that his cultivation was at rank 9 and his soul power was strong, carving a statue was naturally no problem. In less than 15 minutes, a jade statue of Lin Piaomiao was completed. After rubbing it, Night Sorrow passed it to Lin Piaomiao. I like this. Looking at the lifelike statue, Lin Piaomiao's face was filled with joy and accepted it. It's good that Xian'er likes it. Then this matter is settled. Xian'er has a lot of friends. Let's set a date and inform them. Yu Qing said. Aunt Qing, there's no need for this. We can just have a family feast. It's good to be quiet. Night Sorrow, what do you think? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Yes. Everyone is busy. There's no need to make a big deal out of it. It's also tiring for us. It's good to have a family feast. Mainly we have a lot of things to do. Night Sorrow also preferred a quiet place. Otherwise, if the notice was given, there would be too many people coming from the primal chaos realm. It would take many days. Since the matter was settled and the date was chosen, there was no need for Night Sorrow to worry about it. Father, Mother, I still have friends in Ethereal Imperial City that I need to receive. Once the family has made the necessary arrangements, please inform us. Chuyu, my two senior sisters, Shueshi and Aluo, I'll have to trouble you. Yishang bowed to his parents, then cupped his hands to his wives. Chapter 1777. 5 ***********. At first, there weren't any seats available. The big shots of the human race had to wait. But after waiting for a long time, there were still no seats available. The great demon king was impatient. He shouted at the tea house, anyone who knows Night Sorrow, come out and take a breather. Hearing that the guest knew Night Sorrow, Chin Chin came out and asked the waiter to find a room for them. But when he saw the price of the tea, the demon king's eyes turned blue. Isn't this robbery? Night Sorrow brats slammed bricks with us, punishing evil and promoting good, but he himself is a black-hearted person. Have some tea. We are guests not here to cause trouble. We must give face to Night Sorrow and Commander Lin. If you like to call them Commander Lin, you should call them Elder Lin, Puluo said. This lord has quite a temper. We recommend the heart-cleansing tea, the attendant said to the great demon king. All right. Whatever you say. If you're satisfied, we'll pay the bill. If not, we'll wait for Night Sorrow to settle the bill. The great demon king was still a little angry. Your specialties are heart-cleansing tea and path-understanding tea. Give me a pot of each, Puluo said. The tea was served. After everyone drank the tea, no one spoke. Everyone had a different feeling. After appreciating the moon for a quarter of an hour, Puluo looked at the great demon king. We don't have to wait for Night Sorrow to settle the bill, do we? Since the item is good, we naturally have to pay for it ourselves. Finding Night Sorrow for this matter is a joke. What do you think, Fentian? The great demon lord looked at Fentian. Glancing at the great demon king in disdain, Fentian called for the attendant to pay the bill. He took the storage belt from the attendant, transferred some Holy Spirit stones into it, and threw it to the attendant. This tea house must be very popular. No wonder there are no seats. Their business is really overbearing, Yu Zhu said overbearingly. I've always been fond of wine and I don't really drink tea. Looks like I'll really need to taste tea in the future. There's still such good tea, but good tea is hard to come by. The great demon king lamented. It's simple. Night Sorrow and Sect Elder Lin's wedding. If we give him a gift, shouldn't he return the favor? We want his good tea so that we can drink it when we return to the divine capital, Puluo said. That's fine. The great demon king nodded. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the ethereal imperial city. There was no need for them to read minds for the following matters. When they reached the VIP building, they didn't see anyone. Night Sorrow smiled at Lin Piaomiao. Shall we go to Twilight Tea House? We're about to get married, so I have to get used to it. Otherwise, I'll be a little nervous. Sure. We have to maintain this habit. Let's go to the Twilight Tea House to admire the moon. Although it's late now, it's still all right. Lin Piaomiao smiled. She also wanted to try interacting more with Night Sorrow. When they entered the Twilight Tea House, Chin Chin showed up and told Night Sorrow that his friend came to the Twilight Tea House. Night Sorrow said to Chin Chin, "Mm's sworn brother, give them some refreshments and find a quiet place for us." Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao also arrived at the Moon Pavilion. However, they were quite a distance away from the Great Demon King and the others. The waiter followed Chin Chin's instructions and served tea and refreshments to Pu Luo and the others. The tea in your shop is very good. Although the price is high, it's worth it. What about this? It's not cheap either. But we didn't want it. Reese said. It's on the house. The waiter put down the refreshments and said. Not bad. They even give out refreshments. Their business is very flexible, Yu Zhu said. Not really. This is what the boss told us. These refreshments come from the world where our boss and Lord Knight come from. We don't usually give them out as a gift. The waiter left the room after saying this. Night Sorrow and Grand Elder Lin are here. They're somewhere else, all right. We won't disturb them. They haven't touched food for many years. It's been a long time since they've eaten. Come give it a try. Pu Luo took the refreshments and tried them. The others also tried them. Only the great demon king snorted. It's delicious. Night Sorrow's world may not be as vast and prosperous as the celestial realm, but it must have a different atmosphere, Yu Zhu said. Yes, I'll go check it out if I have the chance. Pu Luo was also interested. While drinking tea in the room, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other. After confirming their relationship, Night Sorrow didn't know what to say. Are you not used to it? Lin Piaomiao could tell that Night Sorrow was a little unnatural. No, I just didn't expect to be married to Misty Battle Emperor, the top of the celestial and demon ranking in the celestial realm. Night Sorrow said with a smile. He then told her about his state of mind and feelings when he first came to the celestial realm, as well as his respect for the celestial and demon ranking. So you're satisfied? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow with a smile in her curved eyes. Of course. This is my fortune. Night Sorrow nodded. Actually, you only see the good in others. You don't see the good in yourself. The people around you, your wife, they're all very happy. This is the life a woman wants. A motivated husband and obedient children. This is what a woman wants in life. Lin Piaomiao said. But I don't even have time to be with them now. I'm not a good husband, I'm not a good son to my parents, and I'm not a good father. I even have too many enemies in the celestial realm. I don't even dare to let them leave Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow felt a little guilty. This is your opinion. Actually, you are the pride of their hearts. Also, Misty Dynasty will be our home in the future. We will live together in the future. If there's nothing special, my original body will always be at home. Our family can live freely in Misty Imperial City. Lin Piaomiao said. Yes, I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. In our own territory, if our family can't live comfortably, then wouldn't we be failures? Lin Piaomiao knew where Night Sorrow's pressure came from. He felt that he didn't take good care of his family. The two drank tea and left Twilight Tea House. Lin Piaomiao held Night Sorrow's arm and enjoyed the night breeze on the street. For now, I'll monopolize you for a while. While strolling, Night Sorrow also made a decision. He would go to Celestial Sect later. This was because Celestial Sect's elder wanted to infiltrate the Chaos Realm. This was something Night Sorrow wouldn't allow. Lin Piaomiao told Night Sorrow that Celestial Sect currently had 2 Imperial Emperors. The strongest was Ling Daoxiu. But even if we destroy Celestial Sect, there's still Celestial Emperor. This is a hidden danger. Night Sorrow expressed his worries. That old man, does he dare to come out? He'll die if he comes out. Even if the great demon king doesn't kill him, I'll kill him. Lin Xian'er's eyes flashed. Sister Xian'er, you're so fierce. I'm the only one who dares to marry you. Everyone else is probably afraid. Night Sorrow said with a smile. That's because they don't understand. Lin Piaomiao also smiled. The two returned to the city lord's mansion. When they arrived at the VIP building, they found Pu Luo and the others in the same posture. They were all waiting with their arms crossed. Night Sorrow, you're so unkind. You know that Twilight Tea House's business is good, but you didn't think of a way for us. You made us wait at the entrance and embarrassed us. Yu Zhu said unhappily. Chapter 1778. You're really unkind this time. You left us there like idiots. If it wasn't for the great demon king's roar, we wouldn't even be able to drink tea today, Pu Luo said. You're going overboard. Do you think Pu Luo will say that? So do as you see fit. The great demon king glanced at Night Sorrow and entered the VIP building. If you want to hit me with a brick, I'll take it. Sister Xian, let's invite them to the best restaurant for a drink tomorrow. Otherwise, we won't be able to let this go. Look at their faces. Night Sorrow turned around and said to Lin Piaomiao. Since you know what's good for you, I'll let you go, Yu Zhu said. After they sat down, Night Sorrow took the initiative to say that he and Lin Piaomiao were already engaged. They were going to get married and he invited them to attend. They all stood up to congratulate Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. Even the great demon king and Fan Tian, who had always been cold, congratulated them. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the Night Moon Villa. The two of them discussed the matter of attacking the Celestial Sect. Lin Piaomiao told Night Sorrow that Ling Daoxiu had stayed at the Imperial Emperor realm for a long time. He should be considered very strong among the Imperial Emperors. Night Sorrow wanted to try. He didn't want Lin Piaomiao to attack. Lin Piaomiao didn't refute. She felt that it would be good to follow them secretly. If Night Sorrow was in danger, she could help. After resting for a night, the Great Demon King and the others came to the Night Moon Villa when Night Sorrow went out. They were stunned when they saw Night Sorrow at the entrance of the villa. "Are you going out to fight?" Puluo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. He could feel the battle intent from Night Sorrow. "Yes, I'm going to the Celestial Sect." After hesitating for a while, Night Sorrow told the truth. He felt that he shouldn't lie to his friends. "If we don't come, you're going alone?" "That's not nice," Puluo said with dissatisfaction. "The Celestial Pole Old Man's sect has to be cleaned up." "Let's go together," said the Great Demon King. "The strongest among them is an Imperial Emperor. I'm afraid that you guys won't be used to it." Night Sorrow smiled and explained the reason why he didn't call them over. "There's nothing to be unaccustomed to. We can't forgive trash just because they're weak," Puluo said. "As long as they don't do well, I don't care if they're big dogs or small dogs. Take care of them." The Great Demon King's impression of the Celestial Sect was also extremely bad. "All right, then let's go deal with them together. The main reason is because they keep having designs on my hometown. Also, if it weren't for them telling on me, I wouldn't have been exiled," Night Sorrow said. Then the group set off. Lin Piaomiao, who had originally planned to follow them in secret, also followed. Night Sorrow's original body and doppelganger went out together. Originally, he didn't call Lin Piaomiao and the others because he wanted to use his strongest combat strength to fight Ling Daoxiu. Even if he couldn't win, he wanted to know the difference between them. The few of them took the teleportation array and arrived at the Celestial Pole Sect's territory. The guards of the teleportation array in the Celestial Pole Sect's city couldn't see through their cultivation base and let them pass with a glare. In less than an hour, Night Sorrow and the others arrived at the Celestial Pole City. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. When they arrived at the City Lord Manor, they couldn't find Ling Daoxiu. After searching around, they still couldn't find him. Grabbing someone from the City Lord Manor and asking, Night Sorrow and the others found out that Ling Daoxiu was still around 15 minutes ago. They then took the teleportation array and left the Celestial Pole City in a hurry. He ran away. When we were forcefully entering the teleportation array, the guards, doppelganger or original body, must have reported the situation. That's why Ling Daoxiu ran away, Night Sorrow said. Who do you think you are? The descendants of the Celestial Pole are all bastards. The Great Demon King scolded. He was already angry when the Celestial Pole Saint Emperor ran away. Now that Ling Daoxiu also ran away, how could he not be angry? Then what should we do? Ruisi was also angry. He came here to smash bricks, but he didn't even see his target. Forget it. Let's go back first. There's no need to kill others, Night Sorrow said. Then let this guy live for a while longer. However, from the Celestial Pole to his descendants, they don't have any dignity, strength of character, or virtue. We have to be careful next time, Puluo said. Night Sorrow, you and Mistress Lin are getting married. It's a good thing that we don't kill anyone during this time, Yuzhu said. Then let's take it as a wasted trip. Let's go back. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow, don't be anxious. After we go back, I'll send some spies. As long as Ling Daoxiu and Ling Wuji appear, we'll kill them, Lin Mistress said. Ling Wuji was the other sky monarch of the Celestial Pole sect. Night Sorrow, you're so lucky. Mistress Lin is so understanding, Yuzhu said. Night Sorrow smiled and nodded. He knew Mistress Lin's gentle side. This was a side that others couldn't touch or feel. Ling Daoxiu and Ling Wuji were resting in a small city in the Celestial Pole sect's territory. At this moment, the two were sitting opposite each other. Sect leader Mistress Lin wants to kill us. If the old ancestor doesn't come back and help, we won't be able to resist, Ling Wuji said. That crazy Great Demon King won't let go. The old ancestor can't come back. We have to take care of this ourselves. Ling Daoxiu's face was full of worry. They didn't dare to return to the Celestial Pole City. Without a leader, the Celestial Pole sect would slowly decline. If we go back, it'll be easy for them to kill us again. Going back is the same as suicide. Ling Wuji really didn't dare to go back. We can only command the elders to control the Celestial Pole sect from afar. Let's hold on one day at a time. Also, let's see if we can find a backer. Sect Elder by Chuyuan isn't doing well right now. We need to find someone else. But who else can do it? Ling Daoxiu was also having a headache. Then can we stake it all and take down the Star Moon Lake? We'll go to the Chaos Domain and cut off the teleportation formation. No one can kill us even if they want to. Ling Wuji spoke out his thoughts. That's feasible. However, we have to investigate thoroughly. First, we have to control the teleportation formation. We can't let that bitch Lin Mistress Ling get there. This way we'll have time to retreat to the chaos domain. Then we can work on both sides and find a backer. After thinking for a while, Ling Daoxiu agreed with Ling Wuji's idea. Then Ling Daoxiu and Ling Wuji arranged for people to take action. After teleporting back to the ethereal imperial city, Night Sorrow gave the Great Demon King a VIP card for the Twilight Tea House. In the future, take this card and go to the Twilight Tea House to get a seat. As for the bill, do you need me to inform the owner there? You mean we can't afford to drink tea? If I take out my Saint Spirit stones, I can bury the Twilight Tea House. The Great Demon King glanced at Night Sorrow and said, Alright then. You know where I live, right? You can look for me if you need anything. After saying goodbye to the Great Demon King and the others, Night Sorrow left the teleportation formation. He wanted to return to the Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow's main body had to seize the time to cultivate. He needed too much time. He planned to work hard to break through to the Imperial Emperor realm. If he could break through to the Imperial Emperor realm with the void and destruction attributes, it would be even better. In addition, his clone also needed to cultivate his spear arts. Chapter 1779. Originally, Night Sorrow didn't have a good impression of Sky Desolate City and the human race clan elders. In fact, he hated them. This was because Bai Chuyuan was a vile person and Xiao Jun was muddle-headed. As for the clan elders, even though they knew that being banished was wrong, they didn't care about his 8 years of exile. On the Nirvana Ocean Bridge he almost died in battle. Even so, no one came to bring him back. However, as Night Sorrow got to know more, he realized that whether it was the Grand Elder, the 7 clan elders, Gu Qi or Ling Shu, they all had the demeanor of an elder. They were all working hard for the human race. Night Sorrow knew that as a member of the human race, he still had to shoulder some responsibilities. After returning to Night Moon Manor, Night Sorrow's actual body entered the Clear Sky Pagoda to cultivate. His clone started to cultivate the mixed elemental spear art. The profoundness of the mixed elemental spear art lay in the concept of the spear art. Brandishing the spear would trigger the power of the heaven and earth. It could be said that when one's domain was strengthened, the spear art would increase the power of the domain. An Emperor Stage cultivator's own insights were all in the domain. The spear art would trigger the will of the heaven and earth, triggering the power of the heaven and earth. These were all contained within the domain. Therefore, the spear art contained the domain. The mixed elemental spear art could trigger the domain to attack. However, this wouldn't affect the execution of his own absolute art. Night Sorrow didn't fuse his absolute art into his spear art. He intended to cultivate his foundation well. The mixed elemental spear art was actually an incomparably thick and solid foundation for his spear art. Lin Piaomiao watched Night Sorrow train by the side. She knew that even though the mixed elemental spear art was easy to understand, without understanding the profoundness, one would never be able to achieve anything. Moreover, without years of practice, it was impossible to cultivate the foundation of the spear art to perfection. The reason why Night Sorrow was able to reach this realm was because of his habit. Ever since he started cultivating, he had the habit of cultivating the foundation of the spear art. Therefore, the foundation of the foundation of the foundation of the spear art was still there. When he was resting, Night Sorrow would sort out the deficiencies in his cultivation. Just as Night Sorrow was pondering, Qing Emperor arrived. Master is here. Have a seat. Night Sorrow stood up to pour tea. Lin Piaomiao also stood up and cupped her hands. Qing Emperor also cupped his hands in return before sitting down. He didn't know about the engagement between Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. But even if he knew, he still had to show respect to Lin Piaomiao. This was the dignity of a strong cultivator. There are more spies in the periphery of Starmoon Lake. If this continues, it will be dangerous. That's why I'm here to inform you, Qing Emperor said. Seems like there's still someone who hasn't given up on his evil intentions. Should we take action and finish him off? Lin Piaomiao's face turned cold. There's no need. I'll go investigate first and see which force they belong to. If they're from the Celestial Sect, then we'll just let them be. This might be Ling Daoxiu and Ling Wuji's desperate plan. They want to take down the Primal Chaos Realm and make it their base. When the time comes, we'll just wait for them to come to us, Night Sorrow said. If it weren't for the fact that blood shouldn't be spilled before marriage, we would have found a fortune teller to do a divination. Then we'll capture them and finish them off. Peace and quiet. Lin Piaomiao was a little annoyed with the celestial sect's constant harassment. Marriage is a matter of life. We can't make it unlucky just because of trash. Knight Sorrow shook his head. When they returned that day, Lin Piaomiao said that she wanted to do a divination to find out Ling Daoshu and Ling Wuji's whereabouts and kill them directly. Knight Sorrow didn't agree. Besides, he felt that there wasn't much hope. Ling Daoshu and Ling Tianji were both monarch cultivators. They weren't fools. They would guard against this. They were monarch cultivators. It was normal for them to have status in the God-Devil Castle. Knight Sorrow, what marriage? Qing Emperor didn't understand. Master, it's like this. I plan to marry Piaomiao. The date has been set. We don't plan to be extravagant. It's just a family dinner. Master and his wife will come at that time, Knight Sorrow said. You rascal. If Master doesn't come today, are you not going to inform me? Qing Emperor glared at Knight Sorrow. Master, don't be angry. I just want to be quiet. I don't plan to inform anyone. I'll call Master when the time comes. Knight Sorrow was a little embarrassed. He didn't want to lie, but he really didn't plan to inform Qing Emperor. Okay, then I'll wait for the wedding. Looking at Knight Sorrow, Qing Emperor shook his head helplessly. Knight Sorrow was too principled. He didn't even bother to do something half-hearted. Qing Emperor left. Lin Piaomiao stopped Knight Sorrow, who wanted to investigate personally. She planned to arrange for someone else to do it. Knight Sorrow respected Lin Piaomiao's opinion. Besides, he was really tight on time. He wanted to grab hold of as much as he could. Feeling that his domain had completely merged with his spear arts, Knight Sorrow started to merge his battle techniques into his spear arts. First of all, he was most used to using the Void Extreme Kill and the Void Origin Kill. The two battle techniques alternated. Lin Piaomiao nodded. She knew that Knight Sorrow's spear arts had succeeded. With the support of his domain, the power of his spear arts was different from before. In time, Knight Sorrow's spear arts would become a symbol of the celestial realm. Knight Sorrow didn't have a sense of time when practicing his spear arts. When he was tired, he would chat with Lin Piaomiao and rest for a while before continuing. Divine Capital, at the foot of Yawu Mountain, a man in purple robes appeared at Fan Tian's training area. The man was wearing a purple gold crown. He stood there like a spear that pierced the sky. It was King Yawu. However, his aura was completely different from the last time he appeared. Master, you're out? Fan Tian's original body quickly stood up to welcome King Yawu. I'm out. What's the situation recently? King Yawu walked to a chair and sat down. After Knight Sorrow and the others came, they did some crazy things. Of course, I'm part of it too. Divine Capital should be more chaotic, but that's not the case. But the truth is not like that. The current Divine Capital is very stable, and it can even be said that there are no fights over territory like in the past. Some of the powers have restrained themselves a lot. Fan Tian bowed and reported. This is the power of the Merit Emperor. Nothing good will come out of it now. You're not in Divine Capital? King Yawu glanced at Fan Tian. No, I'm with them in the Misty Dynasty. Knight Sorrow wanted to marry Lin Piaomiao, so we went with them. Master, you might not know, but the great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao went through the 6 tribulations of the heavenly law. Fan Tian's eyes lit up. Both of them are outstanding talents. You're the same. However, you're seeking stability now. Don't fight with your personal feelings. King Yawu looked at Fan Tian and said. He had only accepted Fan Tian as his disciple for countless years. In fact, he was no different from a son. Latest be Chapter 2, Super Understressisk, I understand. Also, Knight Sorrow has an Overlord-grade teleportation crystal. He wants to connect with the Overlord-grade teleportation array in Divine Capital. I wonder if this will work. Fan Tian asked on behalf of Knight Sorrow. This is nothing. Divine Capital is the first city of the human race. It drives the development of the human race. It's a good thing that other cities can connect with Divine Capital. As for safety, do you think I'm afraid of war? Whoever has the ability can fight me. King Yawu laughed. He didn't care about these things at all. Then I'll ask him to come and see Master when he has time, Fan Tian said. Chapter 1780. Master, are you going to the Ethereal Dynasty? Fan Tian looked at King Yawu in surprise. From his memories, King Yawu had only left the Divine Capital once. That was to fight against the foreign races. I'm going to meet the Merit Emperor and meet this nephew of mine. How many days until their wedding? King Yawu asked. There's still half a month, But only Night Sorrow's family and a few friends know about it, Fentian said. Isn't he the region lord? Shouldn't all the forces in the region respect him? Why is he still so low-key? But that's good too. King Yowu looked at the sky and thought about something. Night Sorrow cultivated hard every day. All the combat skills and absolute arts he learned in the past were integrated into the mixed essence spear art. The wedding date was getting closer and closer. Song Ning and Wu Feng also moved to the Night Moon Villa. Sister Xin, what you said that day made me a little dizzy. Now I understand. You've already married yourself off, so you're worried about me? Song Ning took out the big red dress he prepared for Lin Piaomiao. I'll marry you off first. After that I'll decide. Lin Piaomiao looked at the red phoenix dress Song Ning took out and was very satisfied. Brother, this is the wedding robe I prepared for you. Wu Feng also took out a red lacquered box. After opening it there was a wedding robe inside. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Boss Song. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Wu Feng and Song Ning. Don't call me Boss Song in the future. My boss isn't as big as yours. Just call me Song Ning, Song Ning said. Song Ning said. She already knew about Yi Shang. She also knew that Yi Shang had killed several monarchs from the Demon Wing clan, so she was very respectful to Yi Shang. Sister Xin, let's hold the wedding on Night Moon Villa, okay? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. I'll listen to you. Lin Piaomiao nodded with a happy smile on her face. Everyone from the Yi family was here, including Yu Yangyu and Papa Gu. Night Sorrow had asked Yang Lei to fetch Yu Yangyu. Since senior brother Sandalwood isn't here, there's no need to call the other senior brothers of the Medicine Valley. Everyone has their own things to do. Aluo, just invite Master Qing Emperor and his wife over later. Don't inform the others. Keep everything simple, Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Night Sorrow didn't have to worry about receiving guests, so he just chatted with his children. Do you think that your father did something wrong? Night Sorrow said apologetically as he looked at his children. He felt that he had not been a good role model. Father, you're thinking too much. Mother and Auntie have already explained to us what happened. We're all very clear about it, so we can't wait to congratulate Father. How could we think that Father is in the wrong? Yi Xiaolei said. Thank you for your understanding. How about the four of you accompany Father for a drink or two tonight? Night Sorrow said to his children. Yi Qingyin and the others were very happy. They rarely spent time with Night Sorrow. Yi Qingyin and Yi Yujun were still fine. Night Sorrow had accompanied them when they were young. Yi Xiaolei and Yi Xiaoluo's impression of their father was mostly based on hearsay. Seeing the five of them chatting happily, no one disturbed them. Even Night Sorrow's wife didn't come close. In the past, Father was worried about your safety. When you came to Night Moon Villa, I didn't even dare to let you go out to play. In the future you can do whatever you want. This is also our family's territory. Father relies on women. It's not very glorious. Night Sorrow laughed self-mockingly. Father, this wasn't your intention. Actually, this is what I admire the most about Father. You have good luck with women. Yi Qingyin smiled as she poured Night Sorrow a cup of wine. Lower your voice. Your grandfather will scold us if he hears you. Night Sorrow pointed at Yi Wuyo, who was accompanying Yu Yangyu and Qing Emperor. During the wedding preparations, Night Sorrow would sometimes accompany Papa Gu, Yu Yangyu and Qing Emperor to chat. Sometimes he would also be dragged by Pu Luo, Great Demon King, and the others to drink. However, he would cultivate his spear techniques for a while every day. Lin Piaomiao also told Night Sorrow about the scouts outside Starmoon Lake. They were from the Celestial Sect. Moreover, they were showing signs of gathering. They're going to attack Starmoon Lake. Ice Dragon and Jean Ling won't be able to stop the two Celestial Sect Emperors. Night Sorrow was a little worried. Head GFA, Peach Elder Luo's doppelganger is on the way. Song Ning's doppelganger is already in Starmoon City. Why don't they try attacking? So, you can just wait patiently to marry me? Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. And then I'm relieved. Night Sorrow nodded. On this day, Night Sorrow finished cultivating his spear techniques. When he was about to go see his parents, a shout came from his spirit sea. Following that, he used his soul power to investigate and found a purple-robed man standing under an ancient tree outside Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow carried the blood Qilin evil-slaying spear out of Night Moon Villa and arrived under the ancient tree. This purple-robed man was King Yowu. He had already arrived at Ethereal Imperial City. He deliberately hid his cultivation so that no one would notice. King Yowu sized up Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow also looked at King Yowu. Although King Yowu's aura was calm, Night Sorrow could feel that he was an expert. This was because Pu Luo and the others in Night Moon Villa did not notice him. Not bad. Heroic spirit is flourishing. Don't think too much. They won't notice me. I just want to see you and find a place to drink tea. Do you dare to come? King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and said. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's still time. Junior will be the host and treat Senior to some tea. Night Sorrow finished speaking and brought King Yowu to Twilight Tea House. When they arrived at Twilight Tea House, Night Sorrow brought King Yowu into Admiring Moon Pavilion. He ordered a pot of tea and brewed it himself. Then he sat opposite King Yowu. Night Sorrow did not ask anything. He knew that since the purple-robed man came to find him, he must have something to say. He was not in a hurry to ask. Night Sorrow did not ask, so King Yowu just drank his tea. He was not in a hurry. This also showed Night Sorrow's temperament. After a pot of tea, Night Sorrow brewed another pot. The two sat quietly. When the moon was about to set, Night Sorrow stood up. Senior, if you want to drink tea, you can find Night Sorrow at any time. You don't have anything to ask? King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and asked. No. If you want to find Night Sorrow, you will tell me. If you don't want to tell me, then it's useless for me to ask Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow explained why he did not want to ask. You see it clearly. But even if you don't ask, I have to tell you. I am Yen Wushuang's sworn brother. King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and said. My master's sworn brother? How can you prove it? Night Sorrow's eyes were full of shock, but he still wanted to confirm it. There were many people who wanted Yen Wushuang's inheritance. Many people also knew that the human sovereign seal was in Night Sorrow's hands. He had to be careful. Chapter 1781. If King Yowu says he's my martial uncle, I'll believe him. But the problem is... Night Sorrow did not continue. His meaning was obvious. How could King Yowu prove that he was King Yowu? Alright. You're the only one who questioned my identity in the past few eras. But it's good to be cautious. Is this divine capital seal okay? It doesn't seem to work. You can say it's fake. King Yowu took out a big seal. He looked at Night Sorrow and put it away because he could not prove that the seal was real. Night Sorrow looked at King Yowu. He believed him now because no one could joke about King Yowu's name. It's simple. Isn't Fentian with you? Pu Luo and the others are there too. Fentian cannot believe it, but Pu Luo can, right? King Yowu stood up and walked out of the Twilight Tea House. Night Sorrow did not pay the bill. He followed King Yowu and left the Twilight Tea House. King Yowu waved his sleeves and began to fly with Night Sorrow. The Twilight Tea House was still some distance away from the Night Moon Villa, but King Yowu arrived in a few flashes. Fentian, Pu Luo, come out. Standing at the entrance of the Night Moon Villa, King Yowu shouted toward the Night Moon Villa. Following King Yowu's shout, Pu Luo, Fentian, and the Great Demon King who were originally meditating all came out. Master, you're here? Fentian bowed. Pu Luo greets King Yowu. Pu Luo also cupped his hands. He was the human clan's law enforcement elder, but he had not gone through the Emperor's tribulation. King Yowu was a top expert for several eras. He was the human clan's almighty. The Great Demon King and Lin Piamiao also greeted him. Night Sorrow, my identity as King Yowu is confirmed, right? Can we continue? King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow. Sorry. Senior, please come in, Night Sorrow said embarrassedly. King Yowu walked into the villa. Seeing that someone was following him, he turned around and said, Go and do your work. I need to talk to Night Sorrow. After hearing King Yowu's words, no one else followed. Night Sorrow brought King Yowu to the hall and invited him to sit down while he stood to the side. King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and asked, Can you believe what I say now? Senior, you are a pillar of the human race. I believe whatever you say, Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded. King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and asked, Then I will start with your master Wushuang. He is my sworn brother. He trained and fought with me so I can be considered your uncle. Do you agree? Yes. Night Sorrow greets uncle. Night Sorrow bowed to King Yowu. King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and said, Very good. Your master didn't teach you for 2 days, so I have the responsibility to teach you. After this wedding, your original body will come to Divine Capital to train with me. Yishang understands. Thank you for your concern, Uncle Master. Yishang bowed to King Yowu again. King Yowu looked at Night Sorrow and said, When you see your master, he won't have the ability to teach you. In fact, you have only received the inheritance, but you can learn from his inheritance because it is the sword Dao. However, uncle cultivates the spear Dao. But senior brother Fantian cultivates the sword Dao. Night Sorrow said, puzzled. King Yawu said, this is quite strange. Fantian is an orphan adopted by uncle, who knew that he was born with a fondness for swords. Uncle couldn't force him to cultivate the spear Dao, so I taught him part of your master's sword Dao. However, it was only the sword Dao that your master comprehended in the early stages. I don't know what he comprehended in the later stages. As for you, when you met your master, he didn't have a choice. King Yawu said. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow understood why Fantian wanted to exchange cultivation experiences with him. Your master is quite lucky to be able to take in a merit emperor as his disciple. That's good. There are many people in the world who don't have his luck. King Yawu said. After that, King Yawu stayed at Night Moon Villa. After they quieted down, Night Sorrow told Lin Piaomiao about the situation. This is a good thing. Senior King Yawu's cultivation experience is accumulated. With him guiding you, you won't go astray. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow took the Blood Qilin evil slaying spear and began to cultivate his spear Dao. He picked up his habit of practicing his spear Dao when he had nothing to do. At this time, Night Sorrow's Blood Qilin evil slaying spear was surrounded by his level 4 domain. The tip of the spear was emitting purple light, and the energy burst out. It was the Nihility Origin Kill. When did you cultivate the primeval spear Dao? King Yawu came to the martial arts arena and asked Night Sorrow, who was practicing his spear Dao. Uncle, when I left Tianhuang City, I promised to fight for the 100 Races Alliance's first vanguard. The Grand Elder gave me a spear Dao. Night Sorrow said. This is your opportunity. The Grand Elder's coiling dragon primeval spear Dao is the most important. However, without talent, you won't be able to build this foundation. Now your spear Dao has taken shape. King Yawu sat down beside the martial arts arena. Night Sorrow clasped his hands, hugged his spear and bowed before King Yawu. He then continued to practice his spear Dao. After cultivating for an hour, Night Sorrow rested and drank tea. King Yawu looked at Night Sorrow and asked, do you know what the earliest weapons of the human race were? What weapons were used the most? Night Sorrow shook his head. He didn't know much about the history of the human race. Spear. Because it was easy to make. The cost was also low. It was simple to make a spearhead and tie it to a stick. At that time there was no spear Dao. You could just whip, hack, chop, stab. You could attack however you wanted. The essence of spear Dao at that time was casual. Your spear Dao is exquisite, but it lacks a certain aura. King Yawu said. Night Sorrow was stunned. No one had explained this point to him before. Spear, the king of weapons. Cultivating spear Dao requires an aura. Before the battle, the aura must suppress the enemy. We have to use force. King Yawu looked at Night Sorrow. A purple gold spear appeared in his right hand and he swung it. Chapter Z, New Chapters. There was no energy infusion, but Night Sorrow couldn't describe this spear. This spear seemed to be the ruler of heaven and earth, piercing through the sky. Can you understand this? King Yawu asked Night Sorrow after he put away his spear. I need some time to digest this aura. But where does this aura come from? Night Sorrow understood the essence of King Yawu's spear, but he didn't understand. Grand Elder's spear Dao focuses on the form and intention. It uses the intent to drive the will of heaven and earth and the momentum of heaven and earth. Uncle Master's spear Dao focuses on the essence, energy, and spirit. You use your spirit to control the spear. The spear is an extension of your essence, energy, and spirit. Don't worry, take it slow. Your foundation in spear Dao realm and body are all very good. You were born to practice the spear. King Yawu looked at Night Sorrow with praise in his eyes. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.